From the greatest sports town in modern history, New York City. Welcome to the most exhilarating sports talk on YouTube today. The Entertainer, talking sports. So mute your device, dial your phone, and prepare yourself for the pinnacle of sports talk on YouTube. The Entertainer, talking sports. Monday nights, only on YouTube.
Stand up, New York Giants fans, sports fans, Jet fans, Giant, Met, Yankee, whoever you are. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. Goose is in the house. He says, what the hell is this? That's my intro. Christian Orr's now. Joseph Kelly, you must have not been here for a while, Goose. Lamel Sinclair's in here. Ronaldo's in here. MH, Jeffrey Abbey. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Procaccini, Boomer Dog. Thank you guys for tuning in. So, of course, we've got some big news. Christian Nazy, there's your shout out. Joe Lutz in the house. Goose is very new. A bar, Detonator. So, of course, we have some big news on the Giants front. Now, before we get into that, and of course, we're going to be taking calls in a couple of minutes. Colby, what's going on? Rogue Dog, what's going on? Before we get into that, we got to talk about Tank Lawrence. Because now we got to start thinking free agency. Free agency is what? It's 9 days away. So, Tank Lawrence is now rumored he's going to be franchised, which is what I suspected. Clark of Seattle is going to be franchised, which is what I expected. So now the pass rusher market is thinning out. There were 5 big names. 2 of them already been franchise tag. I suspect D. Ford will probably be as well. And now the big news for the Giants, Landon Collins. It sounds as if the Giants are going to let Landon Collins walk. They have the option to franchise him for $11 million. I don't agree with signing him to a long-term deal, but I would have certainly franchised him, especially with how thin the Giants' secondary is. Now, with all the holes they already have on defense, that's another hole you're going to have to fill. Yes, they have $11 more million to spend, but they have to replace their probably, if not their best, their second best player on last year's defense. So, I don't look at it as a positive. So, it's just another hole. I don't think this is a good thing. I would have franchised him. Now, the Giants, of course, might have been scared that he was going to walk. And it's possible he would have. I mean, not walk, rather, not shown up, not played, sat out the season. I would have taken the chance. I don't think he would have. He does not have a lot of money in the bank. The guy was a second-round pick. He has not been getting, millions of dollars, yes, but he hasn't been getting paid $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million a year. This would have been a huge raise for him. I think he would have shown up with a smile on his face. So, I would have franchised him. So now I don't know what the Giants are going to do. Free agency is only 9 days away. I guess we're going to find out soon, but big news there. GC's in the house. Collins overrated. Good. You could certainly argue that he's overrated, and I think he's overrated. But they have such a bad secondary to begin with. I would have made a short-term commitment. I'm not saying I would have signed to a multi-year deal, but I would have made a short-term commitment. Let's see what we got here. Kendra's in the house. How you doing, Kendra? What's going on, Nick Howard? How you doing, buddy? So we are going to open up the phones. Phone number is going to be 914-481-3540. Let me get rid of that. 914-481-3540. Christian Orr in the house. Get out the launch as we go into the beach. Yeah, it's a big loss. I think so. Diehard Giants fan in the house. What's going on? All right, we got our first caller on the line. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
My boy, Entertainer, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's Mike Nixon again.
Oh, Mike Nixon. Yeah. What's going on, my man?
Not much, bro. How you doing?
Pretty good. Oh, Detonator, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, sign Nathan Peterman. Yeah, right. Yeah, man, no, just some big news came across for Landon Collins. So that's the hot topic right now, man. What about yourself?
Yeah, man, I'm challenged, heard the news, and I was like, can't wait for you to come on because I got some questions.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
So, looking at it from the Combine's perspective, there's a guy that I was looking at, Jonathan Abrams. Now, is he projected to go in the first round?
No. I think he's a second round.
Do you think he could possibly be there when we pick?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind taking him. From what I've seen some film on him, I've seen some highlights on him. Dude makes direct cuts at his angles, and he can hit pretty good. And from the looks of it, he can cover pretty well, too.
I'm going to have to take a strong... to be honest with you, I was busy all day. I didn't even have a chance. I taped it. I'm going to watch it later. I didn't have a chance to look at today's combine. But but they certainly now, I think, have to make a conscious effort in both free agency and the draft to address the safety position. Because it was week before they let this guy go.
Now, speaking of that, like, what realistic free agent at the safety do you think we could have a chance of signing?
The guy that I've been calling for the last 3 weeks is Amos from the Bears.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, he's still relatively young. He's going to make about $7 or $8 million, maybe $9 million a year. So he's not going to be 13 or 14, which is what I think Collins will cost. So, and he's a sound tackler, not the best athlete in the world, but he's a solid safety.
Yeah.
But he doesn't fill in for Collins. He's more of a free safety than a strong safety.
Yeah. Now, what about like a LaMarcus Joyner if the Rams don't decide that they want to tag him or bring him back?
Depends on what he'd go for. What's Joyner's age?
I know he's a safety. I forget if he plays the strong or the free.
Yeah, no, I think I remember looking into him, and he was going to be higher priced, I believe. I think he was one of the higher priced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, like you said earlier in your video, and we're just saying now. I mean, I would certainly brought Collins back. I mean, yeah, he's not the best at covering and pretty much giving all that money just for a guy to make tackles. But I mean, he's the best. He's probably the best secondary player on our team right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if I was the GM, what I would have attempted to do, and we don't know everything that goes on. We don't know what Collins said. Obviously, Collins was upset. We all heard when he walked out, and everybody said it was nonsense. It turned out it looks like it was true that they were clashing, and so who knows? Maybe they were having problems in house, but I think he would have came back. And my plan as the GM would have been to franchise him twice. I would have franchised him for 11 and then 14 the following year, so I didn't have to make a multi-year commitment. He would still get paid what was fair market value, but it would have been a 2-year deal instead of like a 4 or 5.
Yeah. Now, my thing is, I think the reason why he was upset, which, I mean, I can understand in his part, is that we weren't winning.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team, I think everybody's upset that we're not winning.
Yeah. But, I mean, in the long run, you got to be a leader and bring them players together and be like, listen, we can't have this, we can't have that. We need to go out there, we need to practice hard every day that we're out there to get ourselves better, to be where we want to be. That's what a true leader does, and by him not trying to be that type of leader, just maybe we don't need him in our defense if he can't be a leader like that and just wants to be out there for the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, at this point we got to move on. And I see Jeffrey brought up the guy that I like the most in this draft at the safety spot, and that's Adderley. And that is a guy that's being mocked.
Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to see anything of him today because he had a nagging ankle injury. So we just gotta hope he performs at his pro day.
I could see them trading up to the late first to get him. I could see that, especially with the situation now. They may. Don't rule it out. I still, at this point in time, think they are going to take Haskins if he's there. But don't rule it out that they could trade down, accumulate more picks, and address the safety position that way too. So there's ways they could go about this, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
For sure. Now I just also want to say, like, you did a good job on your Met video. I haven't checked out the second part, but I just got done watching the first part. I mean, I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I mean, I follow it. I follow the Mets and whatnot.
Yeah, I know a lot of my subscribers aren't baseball fans, but I love baseball, and I wanted to show people the history of the Mets that don't necessarily follow the Mets, that maybe they'll learn something, maybe they'll fall in love with the team, and I just brought the second one today. I it's better edited, the second one. I added some music to it, and the pictures are a little clearer, so I think you'll enjoy it.
Now, do you plan on doing something like that for like the history of like the Knicks and the Giants?
Yep,
at some point.
The Mets are just the beginning. I'm doing the Giants right after. I have part 3 of the Mets probably next week. Then I'll probably take a break until the end of the draft. Then once the draft is done, then I'll start the history of the Giants to continue content throughout the offseason.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'll let you get to other callers. I know they're probably anxiously waiting.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for the call.
No problem. Always good talking to you, buddy.
All right, my man. What's going on, Nico? Thank you for tuning in the stream. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, New York Mets, especially if you're a Mets fan. I saw Whitney was in the chat, by the way. I just want to say hello to her. What's going on? You're on live with the entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, what's going on?
Who's that? Oh, Cushman.
Yeah, baby.
What's up, Cushman? How you doing, buddy?
Nothing much. How is everything with you? Thank you for tuning into my stream.
Of course, buddy. I see Meet the Mets is in the house. Everybody do me a favor and go check out his community over there. He's building something over there. I'm looking forward to having him on the channel once baseball season gets underway. But no, I'm doing good, man. Of course, the big news that just broke in the football world is, I'm sure you're well aware of, we talked about it on your channel, is Landon Collins. So that's kind of what we're talking about right now. Of course, I'm open to talking about anything, but that's the main story right now.
All right. I just saw one thing where I think I forget exactly what it was, but I just kind of I in between our live streams, I just saw something when I was looking at like ESPN or something. I forget exactly, but it was saying that the Giants have more interest at this moment in Daniel Jones than Dwayne Haskins.
Where'd you read this?
I forget exactly. I don't know if it was that, but it was like that they had like a lot of interest in Dwayne. In Daniel Jones, and like some people believe that he'll end up being like a pick, whether it's like a trade down or a trade up from the second round.
One thing I'll say about Daniel Jones, I didn't love him. I liked Daniel Jones going into the combine because he's the most pro-ready quarterback, and nobody could debate that. He plays in a pro-style offense. He learned from the same guy that Eli learned under. He also taught Peyton. So, I mean, there's definitely...
And aren't they like family friends?
That I'm not sure of. But I think
I heard somewhere, but maybe.
But
ironically, they kind of look alike. Daniel Jones and Eli Manning.
But one thing I'll say about Jones, he did not, in my opinion, and I'm not an expert, I'm not a professional, but from what I watched, I was not impressed with Jones at the combine.
Yeah, I know like JC like doesn't like him and like.
Yeah, I think he's solid, but I think Haskins definitely has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
You know? But anything else, buddy?
Yeah, so I was just going to, like, ask, because I know, like, we obviously heard, like, the Olivier Vernon, like, trade rumors, and then, like, also he's a potential, like, cut candidate. I just don't know if this, like, defense could last. Like, I know both of them get a lot of hate, and, like, some of it's, like, well-deserved, but I don't know how this defense could last without Landon Collins and Olivier Vernon. As long as we don't, like, add someone.
Well, they're certainly, in my opinion, they have to keep Vernon. Because, as I said in my preview video when I did the pass rushers, all the big guys, they're going to be kept. They're going to be franchised. We already saw two of them.
Clowney just got franchised.
Clowney, Lawrence, and what's his name? The guy from the Seahawks.
Clark.
Yeah, all three of them are going to be franchised. So, D Ford will probably be franchised as well. Now you're hearing that the guy
Graham already got like re-signed.
Graham got re-signed. You're hearing the guy from the Patriots is already hurt. So I mean,
Flowers.
Yeah. So I mean, he's requiring surgery. So they're gonna have to keep Vernon. They're going to have to keep Vernon, and they're gonna have to keep Jenkins. The cornerback market is too thin.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else, my man?
That's pretty much it. Thank you for letting me call in.
Of course, buddy. Of course, we keep up the great work on your channel, my man.
Thank you.
You got it, bud. Yeah, you gotta hold on to OV. I'd cut him next year, Jeffrey, because the cap hit next year is nothing. It's like $3 million. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's good, Chris?
Connor, is this Bobby?
It is.
All right, 1 second. Connor, just do me a favor at the end, because I'm sure I'll find it, but just in case, just put it in the comments, not in the actual chat. Put it in the comments. Put the link in there, and I'll take a look at it after. Or you can post it in the chat if people want to see it now. But what's going on, Bobby? How you doing?
Hey, man. I don't know if you know this, but the Eagles let Timmy Jernigan go.
I did hear
they're going to
that.
let him hit free agent. They're going to hit free agency. Would you think the Giants would ever go for him?
Maybe. I wouldn't. I mean, at this point, maybe.
Well, he. The reason I say that is because it's not that big of a hit. You know, I think it's only like $10 million, which for a really good defensive tackle that's pretty good.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say though, and that's, I mean, I wouldn't even consider it a strength, but they already have 2 young players that have performed pretty well at that position. I think they'd be better suited to use their money elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, B.J. Hill was second on the team in sacks last year. Dalvin Tomlinson's got potential, so I'd rather use the money elsewhere.
Now, another question is, do you think the Giants, do you think they'll take a safety? Because I think they need one now that Collins is gone.
Oh,
they're definitely
going to take a safety. I think they're gonna get a safety in free agency now for sure. And I will say, if there is one free agency class you want to need a safety, it's this one. There are a ton of good safeties on the open market. It's probably the deepest position in the free agency class. And I think they're probably going to draft the safety in round 2. I'd be surprised if they don't at this point.
Do you think the Giants have the money to get Earl Thomas?
I don't want him. I wouldn't. He's coming off an injury. He's 30 years old. He's going to cost $14 million a year. I'd rather spend 8 or 9 on an Amos, like I've been saying, and have enough money to do something else. But yeah, they'll have enough. But the thing is, you're breaking the bank there. He's coming off an injury and he's 30.
All right, man. That's all I got for you.
I'm sure it's possible. It's definitely possible that they could go after Thomas. A lot of Giants fans have brought that up. It's just not. I wouldn't do it because they're probably going to.
Well, you got to figure you're spending $14 million for 2 years. That's all you're going to really get.
Yeah, it's probably
really
going to cost.
that's all you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be a 4 or 5 year deal, and you'll probably end up cutting him the last year, taking a dead cap hit. If they were a win now team, Thomas makes more sense. I don't think at this point in time they're a win now team.
No, they're building with youth and in a draft.
Yeah. I'd rather go a younger option in free agency at the safety position.
All right, man. That's all I got for you.
All right, Bobby. Keep up the good work. And if Bobby, when you go back in the chat, Bobby Montagna, go over there, check him out. He's a big Patriot fan. He's putting out a lot of content.
I'm working on my. Right now, I'm talking to you. I'm working on my cannoli video as we speak.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that after. You know I love cannolis.
Yeah, it'll be up in a little bit.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call.
Take it easy, Chris.
All right, my man. All right. Next caller. You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Dad.
Detonator, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Goldquan's in the house, by the way. How you doing? What's going on, Detonator?
Oh, I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Enjoying my Monday night. How about yourself?
Yeah, I am too. I can't complain. I just had pizza for about 4 days in a row, so enough's almost enough. But it's all right. It's all right.
Not the best diet. What'd you have on the pizza?
Well, yesterday, no, what was it? Yesterday? No, Saturday, I had it for breakfast. Then I had some for lunch. Then I think I had a Pop-Tart. Oh, no, I don't own Pop-Tarts. Oh, no, it was another slice of pizza.
Okay.
And I had one for a snack. So, it was, yeah.
You're all over the map. You're all over the map. But, what's going on, my man? What's going on? I mean, we could talk pizza all day if you want, but you want to talk about sports?
Honestly, I wouldn't be. No, but so you like all. Who's your favorite safety prospect in free agency for you?
Amos, Bears, because of age and how much he's going to cost. He's middle of the road in terms of cost, and I think he's only going to be 27. And he's a good player. I like him. Yeah.
It sounds great. I mean. I see him all over the place on the Bears, and he's just one heck of a player. And I'm not sure. I think is it confirmed they're getting rid of him? Is that confirmed?
Collins, or Amos?
No, Amos.
Yeah, I mean nothing was confirmed, but I read that they were more than likely. I'll look it up right now. Actually, while I'm talking to you, I haven't looked it up in a couple of days, but last I saw, more than likely he was going to hit the market.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have any updated news on him. But last I saw, they thought he would probably hit the market, but we won't know. We'll know soon enough. We'll know soon enough.
Hell yeah. I mean, I think you guys are going to be spread out on, spread thin out on defense, especially with the Collins release. And I was agreeing with everything you were saying about, because the defense of the Giants wasn't really spectacular, but one of those bright spots you can argue is Landon Collins being there. I don't think he's like an absolute superstar out on the field. I don't think he's going to make every single tackle, but I do expect him to play hard, and he does play hard. He just, it just gets frustrating sometimes with this whole deal with the money and stuff like that. And, as you were saying, it would be a risk if you franchise him and then he just sits out. You know what I mean? So it was going to be it was a risk kind of move either way, whatever way we want to take it.
Yeah, I think the Giants. It seems to me that the Giants are not thinking they're going to compete next year. That's what it seems like to me. I think and that might be the prudent move, the smart move, to start thinking about the future. Start trying to save up your money to make a big splash next year in free agency. Get rid of the dead weight. If they don't think Collins is going to be back after next year, save the $11 million, try to spend it elsewhere, try to build up the team. And it seems like that's where they're going right now. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. I don't think they think they're going to compete next year.
Yeah, the Jets have been doing that for years. It's been like 7 years since they actually had any success. I mean, it's been a long road. It's been a long road. And so the thing is, it's a lot of media that really get to teams sometimes. I mean, I don't think they should. I really don't think a lot of teams should get all caught up in the social media and what everyone's saying about what they should do and what they don't. I mean, they're not looking at these players every single day on the practice field knowing what's happening and everything. So when you have teams that are rebuilding for a little while, a lot of fans I just want to win now and don't plan for the future. So if you take these veteran guys who are older and stuff, who can still play really, really well, but how much longer can they play well? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? You never know.
Right.
So when you really trade and save up on picks and stuff like that, whether it be early first-rounders, mid-first-rounders, or whatever you may be, you're really building for the future, which is fantastic. And yes, there's a whole, great hit or a bust factor when it comes to the draft, but you never know until you at least try it out. And if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta go. You gotta just trust the team on what they think. Yeah?
Listen, I'm completely for whatever the Giants are doing as long as they have direction. I don't like when a team, and the Mets do this all the time as a Mets fan. I don't like when a team is half committed, either fully commit to a rebuild or fully commit to going for it. I don't want them to be one way or the other. So that's all I ask as a Giants fan. Either commit to the rebuild or try to compete next year. I don't want it in the middle.
It gets frustrating because then what happens to all the good players? They're getting frustrated because half the team isn't doing what they're supposed to do, and then the other half of the team is doing great. But you need to have both sides working if you don't have any success, and that's what's the problem with half rebuilding.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to let you go in case somebody wants to call in. Always appreciate when you call in, Detonator. Thank you for the call, buddy.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
Love you, Dad.
Thank you. What's going on, 20 Savage? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm reading an article on Amos now. It says that he wants to be back with the Bears, but it doesn't say anything about them bringing him back. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, Chris? It's Joe Musa.
Joe Musa. What's going on, my man? How you doing, buddy?
So it's not a sports question, but the last video that just came out for Volume 13.
Yes.
Scott Thomas made a comment and said that the background music's too loud. So I was going to bring this up to you. When you were doing a collab with Stuck in the 80s,
yes,
I noticed he was louder than you were. So
I noticed that. I noticed that on the replay myself.
Now, is that a mic? Does he have an expensive mic that he uses?
I don't know. I have a mic. It's right here, but I don't know. I might be getting a new one because maybe it doesn't work as well. I don't know. Because
if I lower the music, it's not going to sound as good.
Right. Right. I'll probably get another. I'm in the process of. I got a green screen. I just got to set it up. I was planning on getting the Blue Yeti, which I think is the mic most YouTubers use within the coming weeks, probably in a week or two.
All right. So that's to answer Scott Thomas there.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. It's weird though,
All right, man.
because some videos the mic comes in too loud, and then other videos it doesn't come in loud enough, so it's weird.
What, on yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I knew I was kind of messing up there. I don't know whether to lower the music or make it louder, but at different scenes, like you and Bad Dog sounded the same, so I would have had to lower the music there.
Right. No, it might have been my mic. I honestly don't know.
All right, man. That's all I have for you.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much for the call. Thank you for being a great subscriber, my man.
Stand up to your chef fans.
There you go. Yeah, no, okay. I got a green screen. Yeah, I got to get it figured out. Hopefully by Wednesday. And next caller, what's going on? You're on live.
Hello, Chris Nelson.
Nelson. How you doing, buddy?
Well, all right. Yeah, I'm fine. All right. Kind of question. Could you have get something back for Landon Collins?
Well, they're not going to bring him back. That's what all the reports are saying. He's gonna be a free agent. They're not bringing him back.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not official till after tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day they will have to franchise him. March 5th is the deadline. But it sounds like he will not be a New York Giant. He's going to be a free agent.
Okay. If the schedule will come out, what could be a week one opponent?
I'm sorry?
If the NFL schedule will have come out, what was your week one opponent?
What's the Giants' week one opponent? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I'll pull up the schedule right now. I know that they were playing the Cowboys the last week again. I remember hearing that. Oh, they don't have the schedule yet. They just have the opponents. They don't have the schedule yet.
All right.
Yeah, they have obviously the divisional games. Their home games are Green Bay, Minnesota, Buffalo, Miami, and Arizona. And then the away games out of division are Chicago, Detroit, New England, the Jets, and the Bucks.
Okay. Okay, so I know it didn't come out, so I may ask the same question just in case.
What?
I may ask the same question later on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When the schedule comes out, I'm going to make a video on it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, buddy?
All right. Not really. I'm going to let you take all the callers.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call. Have a good one.
All right.
Good job, Nelson. All right, we'll be waiting for the next caller. And, yeah, as you see, if it comes out right around the draft time, we know our opponents. We know where it's going to be played. But we don't know the order yet. What's going on? You're on live with the entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Oh, this is the entertainer. I thought I was trying to read. Is this Sports Fury?
UCF Jaguars on the line. What's going on, buddy?
So this isn't the Sports Fury.
This is not the Sports Fury.
Damn it. All right. What's going on, man?
Sports Fury, of course, is going to... Are they live yet?
I don't know. I haven't seen them live.
I don't think they are.
Saw you on.
I think they're going live at about 9 my time, I think. But I could be wrong. But, yeah, Sports Fury, I'm going to try to tune in for that. They're going to have a video call-in show tonight. That should be a lot of fun. But, yeah, man, what do you think of what's going on right now? Obviously, we got to talk... I made a video, obviously, yesterday because it affected the Giants as well when you guys decided, not officially yet, but probably going to sign Foles. And somebody sent me a message. I think it was one of your subscribers. They said that we should do a video together about it because I think it's something that kind of affects both of our teams, right? Because by you signing Nick Foles, you guys were the threat, right? And if the Giants want to go quarterback of the team that could most likely jump us. So are you happy with this move, or would you have rather gone after a rookie quarterback?
Well, I think this move is decent just because I don't think that, because I think to get either Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins, you're going to have to move up in the draft. So this kind of gives you some flexibility where it says, hey, you don't have to invest all these picks and move up. And then, you know, Nick Foles is going to give you the best chance to win in 2019. So that's kind of the route that guys are trying to take, just because if they go 5-11 again, Doug Marone's gone, Dave Caldwell, the GM, is gone, and you know Tom Coughlin might even be gone. So they're trying to get as many wins in 2019 as they can.
Yeah, so they're thinking win now mode. And has there been any rumors as to what the length of the contract will be?
No, I mean apparently it's not all that expensive of a deal, because really there weren't really any teams trying to go into a bidding war with the Jaguars, especially after the Broncos made their move to go to trade to get Flacco. Like, there really wasn't that much of a market for the quarterback, because really, I mean, you look around, really the only teams out there that I saw that could be willing to maybe get in the bidding war is maybe the Redskins, but the Redskins have a bunch of money in Alex Smith,
right? And
then also the Dolphins, and then the Dolphins sound like they're trying to like tank. So I mean there's not many teams like left over after that. I mean the Giants have already kind of committed to Eli, and I mean there's not much of a market. But I think the Jaguars, I think Nick Foles will wind up getting like a 5-year, like $80 to $90 million deal. That's what my gut feeling is.
Yeah, so 5 years, but you could always cut him towards the end if he doesn't perform well. But yeah, that's not horrible, I guess. $18 million a year for a quarterback, that's not horrible.
Yeah, and I think but if the situation comes where you're sitting at number 7 and Dwayne Haskins or Kyler Murray falls, like you got to pull the trigger, in my opinion.
You would still take him. What's the dead cap hit on Bortles? Because I assume you guys are going to cut him.
Bortles dead cap hit, it's a decent amount, but I mean, if you cut him after June 1st, I think you save a lot more money. But yeah, I try not to look at the dead cap hit just because it makes me a little bit depressed.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I had a feeling this Nick Foles thing was coming though. Like as the time got closer, I was starting to say, okay, this is probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was the only team, like you said, that made sense. Maybe the Dolphins, but the Redskins didn't make sense because of the money they still owe Smith. The Giants didn't make sense because I think they're going to go via the draft, and they have Eli for one more year. And the Giants also weren't in the same position where you guys are, where I think you guys, if things break right, you guys still have an opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl next year if everything breaks right.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I'm not picking you. I don't want you to get your hopes up, but you guys have a chance.
Yeah,
but
I'll appreciate that.
Yeah, but as far as the Collins situation with the Giants today, that came out. I'm curious to get your take on that.
So what's going on? Is he officially going to hit free agency?
It's not official, but it's due. They have to franchise him by tomorrow, and several reports have come out and said that the Giants will not franchise tag him, and it's $11 million to franchise tag him, or he sees the open market.
Well, I mean, he grabbed this crap and left. I mean, if they franchise him, I don't think he'd be willing to sign it. And why is the franchise tag, like, why is that even out there? Like, the players like agreed upon this at the CBA meeting, and then no player out there ever wants to sign it, which I don't really understand why. It's a lot of guaranteed money just to play for next year. But I mean, I know they're all out there trying to get like a new contract. But I mean, I know the defensive end for the Cowboys. He's
Lawrence,
refusing to.
Yeah,
Lawrence. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to sign it. Landon Collins just sounds like he wants to get the hell out of New York. So I mean, it sounds like they just.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It sounds like they just need to go their separate ways with the Giants and Collins.
Lawrence to me makes sense as to why he's holding out, because I believe he was franchised last year. So I think it was he made about 17 or so last year with the franchise. So I get that. Like, he already has money in the bank, but with Collins, I think Collins would have played, because he only made maybe $8-9 million over the course of his entire career up to this point. You're telling me he's going to turn down $11 million for a one-year contract? I don't think he would have done it. I think he would have played. I just think he's trying to use some leverage to get a 5-year deal, which if he hits the open market, somebody will give it to him. I think it's a mistake. I would not make a 5-year commitment to him, but it sucks for the Giants because that's just one more big hole they got to fill now for a defense that's already depleted.
Yeah, and the defense is aging too. I mean, you got to get rid of some of the big contracts, and then I don't see much young talent really on the defensive side for the Giants. So, I mean, it's a tough predicament you guys are in. I mean, you guys are loaded when it comes to the sexy positions like wide receiver and like running back, but you know, you gotta build your trenches, get a defense good, and then you gotta get some answers at the quarterback position because you know Eli. Not only is he getting older, but I think his play's dropping off a little bit too. Yeah, no,
Eli's on his last legs. We know. I mean, any realistic Giants fan knows that. They know this is his last year, most likely, even if they don't draft a quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see what they do, though. I think now the Giants, because you obviously don't know the team as well because you're not a Giant fan, but the Giants' other safety last year, Curtis Wiley, was among one of the worst players in the NFL. He was the lowest rated safety in football. And so I looked at it like they already had to replace him. Now you have to replace 2 players at the safety position. So I think they're going to have to address it in free agency, and they're going to have to draft a safety relatively early in the draft.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough for you guys because you guys are going to lose a lot of draft capital when you trade for Eric Flowers.
Yeah. What's Flowers going to cost us to get him back?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are going to have to break the bank. Have you put in any more thought as to what you want to put on the table to get their right tackle, left tackle of the future?
I'll tell you what. If you give us Flowers and your 2nd and 3rd round pick, I'll take them.
Well, that sounds like a bad deal. That seems like it's only really benefiting the Giants. What's going on here?
Well, you're getting rid of Flowers.
Yeah, but you're not going to manipulate me like that.
I tried, Giants fans. I tried my best.
Yeah, you tried. Hey, how about you take Patrick Omameh with you?
All right, if you give us your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, we'll take Omameh as well.
You know what? I'm gonna end this call right here. You're giving me nothing. Have a good night.
All right, UCF Jaguar, have a good one. What's going on, Asia? Thank you for tuning into the stream. 20 Savage in the house. Brandon Rogers in the house. How about them Cowboys? Mike Nixon says, I meant to ask you, entertainer, what about Deontay Thompson? Yes, late first rounder. They could try to trade up to get him. What's going on? I think this is Chris Senor. What's up?
Hey, yo, Dolphin Police. Open the door, man. Open the door. It's the Dolphin Police.
The Dolphin Police. Thank you, UCF Jaguar, by the way. Everybody do me a favor. Go check out UCF Jaguar's channel over there. Always adds a lot to the show. Great caller. And, of course, a great YouTube channel. What's going on, Chris?
Here chilling, eating Little Caesars pizza. How to get my fix.
You're eating Little Caesars pizza?
Yeah.
Oh,
the freaking Little Italy got closed, so I couldn't get any of my pizzas. I had a skateboard down over here and just buy myself a box of pizza. So
You're killing me. You're killing me.
You're killing me, Smalls.
You're half Italian and you're eating Little Caesars pizza?
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry, but this is my pre-April Fool's joke. Oh, you got pranked. You got pranked, Chris.
So what's up, Chris? What's up, Chris?
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, I just heard that, I'm a little sick right now, so I'm mind my voice off. Yeah, what's it called? Landon Collins. Who do you see him going to? Or, who do you see him playing for next year?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think the Cowboys were in need for a safety. It wouldn't shock me if he goes there.
I'll be.
Yeah, the Cowboys, I don't know how much money they're going to have. They don't have a ton of money for the future, but because they're going to have to lock down a lot of those players, including their quarterback, Dak Prescott, if they want to keep him. And I don't know. I honestly have no idea where he's going to go. It sounds like he's not going to be with the Giants. That's what I could tell you.
Do you think the Giants are the most the person or the team that needs safety the most?
Say
or do you think other teams are struggling? Do you think the Giants need a safety badly, or do you think there's other positions to fill? Specifically on defense.
Well, the Giants' biggest needs on defense before this was the free safety position, a pass rusher. Those were the 2 biggest needs. So now they need 2 safeties and a pass rusher. Yes, they're definitely going to have to attack the safety position heavily in both the draft and free agency. And the Giants have options. They could trade down. They could acquire safety in the first round that way. They could trade up to the back end of the first round, acquire safety that way. Or they could just wait in the second round, take one there. But I think in the first 2 rounds at this point, I think they may have put themselves in a spot where they're going to have to draft the safety by the second round. And I think they're going to have to address the right tackle spot in free agency, which I expected them to do already. I thought that they would sign Darrell Williams. Now I definitely think they will. Because I don't think they're going to have the luxury of taking an offensive lineman in the first 2 rounds in this year's draft at this point.
I mean, I wonder how Dave Gettleman would be in that draft room. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Trying to choose between Haskins and free safety. Dan, I don't know how you guys get through it year by year. God dang.
Well, I don't think they'll be thinking free safety at the 6th spot.
Yeah. I mean, who's even a free safety in the draft? I didn't see the defensive players.
Deontay Thompson and Adderley are the top 2 safeties in the draft.
I would go for quarterback. I would even. I don't know about Kyler Murray. Who do you think he's going to, if in the draft?
Well, I'm going to give something away. I'm doing my mock draft tomorrow, and just to make it fun, everything that you're hearing, the rumors, I'm going to have Kyler Murray going first overall. I'm going to have the Cardinals trading Rosen away. I haven't picked out the team yet, but I'm going to have the Cardinals taking Kyler Murray first overall.
Do you think Nick Bosa is going to go second or like third?
Second or third, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I was asking, so, depressing time to be a Giants fan,
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this offseason, but I thought that he'd be back, that's for sure. But, Chris, I just want to say thank you so much for calling in, my man.
Yeah, by the way, that was a really good upload with the Mets. I like the little music in the intro and everything.
Oh, you liked it?
Very,
you liked it?
Very, a lot of information, a lot of specific information, stuff like that, go into detail and stuff like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I may start putting more music into my regular videos. I got to see how it sounds. I don't know if it'll sound as good on like a regular video, so like light in the background, or if it's just meant for something like that, where it's like almost like a documentary. I don't know, but I'm gonna test it out.
You're gonna have to, if you do it, you're gonna, you have to lower the volume and everything, and keep it a little low, so then you can your voice could be heard and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll figure it out. But
some elevator music or something like that.
Yeah. But thank you for calling in, my man.
Yeah, keep on growing your channel. You're gonna hit 1 million one day, okay?
I hope so, buddy.
Yeah.
I hope so, buddy. You keep up with your channel, my man. Have a good one.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Have a good one. I saw that Mosh was in the chat, by the way. I don't know if he's still here. He said he had to go fast, but if he is still in the chat, I want to say hello to Mosh. Thank you for tuning in. Stuck in the 80s is in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Everybody do me a favor. Check out his channel. Great video today, by the way, Stuck in the 80s. That was great. But what's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's going on, Entertainer?
What's going on? Who's this?
Nations.
Oh, God, I love this kid. What's up, Nations? How you doing, buddy?
Not much. You should try to, I don't know if you have a console already, but you should try to get one, and you and Bad Dog could do like Madden rebuilds, if you know what those are, where you rebuild a team.
I've seen that those videos get tons of views.
Yeah, they're really fun to watch because there's all types of things you could do. Like you could do like fantasy drafts. There's so many options that you could do. So I think you guys should try to do that one day if you guys can. That'll be really entertaining.
Connor Burke, I appreciate that. Yeah, I might look into that. It sounds interesting, actually. I'm gonna have to learn Madden more. I barely play it, but one thing I wanted to ask you. You were the one that gave me the suggestion to put music in the. I don't know if you got a chance yet to watch my Mets video I posted today. I put music in the background.
Yeah.
You saw it?
No, I didn't watch it. I didn't even know you uploaded it.
Yeah, no, I just want to see. I just want to get your opinion on it because I'm thinking about putting that music because I found free music online and I'm thinking about adding that to all my videos, but changing, making it dimmer maybe. I don't know yet. I'm gonna test it out, but I took your suggestion. I put it in the next video.
And for Landon Collins, I feel like they shouldn't. I feel like they should have kept him for one more year and try to build a defense around him, help better players around him on the defense. Because if you look at his really good year when the Giants made the playoffs, I think was it 2016? I think it was, right?
Yeah, Taylor
sure.
Taylor says she likes the music idea. I appreciate that, Taylor. And Who just said Goldquan? By the way, just new channel. Now I'm sorry. What were you saying about Collins?
I said I was talking about how I think that they should have franchise tagged them because I don't think they're gonna really go for anybody extremely good in free agency or somebody decent in free agency. But now, I mean, maybe they would, but I think they should have because when you look at the 2016 season and you see how Landon Collins did, and that was his prime season. But when you look at his defense, he had players around him that were really good, so they helped him a lot. So he didn't have much of a responsibility. So I think they should have tried to franchise tag him and then try to build a defense and free agency by getting a decent players that'll be able to grow over time, and then as well as in the draft.
Yep, I would have franchised them too. Now, of course, what everyone's saying, the risk is he wouldn't have showed up. I think he would have shown up. I think he would have shown up.
Yeah, same.
I really do, but at this point, what can you do? If they're not bringing him back, they're not bringing him back. You just got to hope that they could fill his void via free agency, and I think at this point, they're probably taking a safety in the second round.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad decision. I think that's a good decision.
I think they have to. I can't go another year with Curtis Riley. I can't go another year with Curtis Riley.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Man, great call as always. Nations always appreciate when you call in. Thank you very much. And I will definitely look into the won't be for a few weeks, but I'll look into that Madden rebuild.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thanks for being a great sub, my man. Have a good one. Skins fan all day in the house. What's going on, Skins fan all day? What's going on? You're on live with the Entertainer. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, what's up, Entertainer?
What's up, man? Who's this?
BK Sports Talk.
That's what I thought. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. What about you?
Same old, same old. Just got the news that Collins isn't going to be a Giant anymore. That's the hot topic in the Giants world. Know you're an Eagles fan. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about Collins. I think it's kind of ridiculous that they didn't at least franchise tag him. The biggest problem I have is that you're paying Eli like $23 million, and he's basically you said he's on his last legs. He only has one of his two legs, and that one's about to fall over too. He's completely done. I don't know how he's not on a pay cut yet.
Yeah, Eli. I hate saying it, but Eli's not. He's done. He was very close to done. And I mean, I still think they're going to draft Haskins. Or definitely going to take a quarterback. But this is just another hole they're going to have to fill now on defense, and they already had a ton of holes to begin with. So he was one of the few guys, and I'm not a big Collins guy, but he's still a good player. I just don't think he was worth a 4 or 5 year commitment, but I certainly would have franchised him.
Yeah, and even if you franchise him this year, you could franchise him again, and you could hope he doesn't sit out. And I agree with you, he probably wouldn't sit out because he hasn't really made all that much money yet, so he needs the money.
That's what I would have done.
Really afford to sit out.
I would have looked at it I would have either went to him and said, listen, we'll give you a 2-year deal for $25 million, or we'll franchise you twice, which is the same exact thing. I wouldn't have given him a 5-year deal. So that's because he's not worth it. Not many players are, and the Giants, too many holes in more important areas to give a safety that kind of money over a 5-year stretch. So I don't blame the Giants for not signing him long term, but they should have franchised him.
Yeah, I agree. And the Eagles have been making moves. I'm not sure if you probably haven't saw all of them.
I know Graham.
Yeah, Graham got re-signed. I like getting Graham re-signed, but at the same time, it was a lot of money to give him. But it's only I think it was 3 years. That's only 3 years, so it's not like
what was it, about a little over $13 million a year.
Yeah, so it's not for 3 years. He's only 31. He'll be 34. His production shouldn't drop, but a lot of people said his production dropped last year, but he still gets the hurries. He just has the problem getting sacks. But I don't mind a player that gets a lot of hurries. I think he's worth the $13 million.
Yeah, no, I think $13 million was fair value. I remember looking at him when I did my pass rusher free agency vid, and SportTrack had him at market value of $16 million. I thought that was too high, but $13 million I think is fair price. And only 3 years for a guy who's 31. You should at least get 2 years out of him. So, no, that's not a bad deal by the Eagles there. The only thing I will say is you guys had limited cap space to begin with, so you guys probably won't be making many moves at all in free agency. Maybe 1 or 2 minor ones, but nothing big.
Well, earlier today we released. Well, we didn't pick up Timmy Jernigan's option.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was set to make $15 million. So we lost his option, but there's still a $6 million on the cap hit. So that's $7 million that we freed up.
$9 million.
And we already had.
You said 15, and it was a 6 cap hit. It was 15. So you saved $9 million.
Oh yeah, you might be right. I don't know. I swear I saw. Oh yeah, okay, I think you're right. So I think we should have about like 14 million right now in cap space, and I feel like we're going to keep making moves. But since do you know much about Jernigan?
Yeah, solid player. I mean, I don't watch him on a weekly basis like you do, but
yeah. So do you think you know where he was going to go next, or how much money he's going to make?
Somebody called in actually the first call, asked about Jernigan to the Giants. I said nah. I mean, that's one of the few spots where I think the Giants have some young talent on defense. So won't be the Giants. I'd have to think about that on the top of my head. I couldn't tell you, but I'm sure he's going to go somewhere. Somebody's going to want him. Yeah,
it was sad. It was sad because last year he had a pretty good year. 2017 he had a pretty good year, but then in the off season of 2017, 2018 he got hurt like outside of football. He got hurt doing something else, but no one they never announced how he got hurt. And then I think the Eagles front office kind of like came sour on him, and then he didn't play that well when he came back in 2018.
How old is he?
And that was it. They just cut him. He's not that. I think he's like 27.
Okay.
Around there at least.
Yeah, it'll be
interesting. He's not old.
It'll be interesting to see what he gets on the open market. 15 million seems a little out of the price range for him, but yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see where he goes. But still, yeah, even if you have 14 million, you might make small moves, but you're not going to make a big splash, the Eagles. In my opinion, that's the smart decision. If you're the Eagles, I wouldn't. I would try to save up some money for the future. I wouldn't. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's all good. There's buzz that they're trying to like get Bell, but the thing is, we have players that like, if they're not going to take cap hits, we still could release them. Like Peters, there's like still like a candidate that we could release because he makes like 10 mil a year, or like he can get some sort of pay cut. I feel like they've been making a lot of moves. I feel like that's one of the moves they'll be making soon.
Well, we'll see. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what the Giants do with Eli. I know Eli's coming back, but if they could restructure his contract, that would be good.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm looking for. But I'm going to let you go, buddy. As always, man, great call. Bring a lot of knowledge to the table. I appreciate the call.
All right. See ya.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. Yes, I know they did, Asia. I know the Mets lost today. Give up 2 next year and 4th this year for Rosen. A lot of people have been talking about Rosen, Ms. Rachi. I'm not going to say it's the worst idea in the world. I was never a Rosen guy, even before last year, but he clearly has talent. If you get him for a very cheap deal, might be worth a shot, but we'll see what happens. I think somebody's going to get a first-round pick for him, though. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, man?
What's going on? Who's this? Sounds familiar. Who is this?
No, this is just Alex,
Alex.
Called in at all.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, 1 second. Nations asks, I'm thinking about making a channel. Of course you should make a Giants channel. And the second you make a Giants channel, Nations, I'll have you on mine. So we'll try to get your channel going. But what's up, buddy?
So you heard about the Giants interested in Josh Rosen, right?
What, heard about Giants and what?
Interested in Josh Rosen, right?
I haven't. I mean, I've heard nothing concrete about that. Is that like concrete evidence that they have interest in him? I've heard little things here and there, but nothing solid.
Yeah, I got like a message on my phone earlier saying that, according to Matt Miller, that the Giants have serious interest in him if he's available.
Depends what the price is. I wouldn't give up the 6th overall pick for him.
Yeah, me either.
Depends what the price is. If you get him for the second round, if you get him for a second round pick, I know a lot of people might not like hearing that because they love Dwayne Haskins. But if you get Josh Rosen on a rookie contract for a second round pick, I think you got to seriously entertain that.
So let's say the Giants do get him for like a second and like third or something like that. Who would you take at number 6? Like, take a linebacker.
You go best player available. Yeah. I mean, you could go pass rusher. You could go whoever's your best player available. If you're not going quarterback there, you just go best player available on your board.
It's true.
Who
do you think is the best defensive end available right now?
In the draft in its entirety, or that could potentially be a Giant.
Entirety.
I mean, that's either got to be Allen or Bosa. As a pass rusher, Quinn Williams is an interior lineman. I think he's the best player. But if you're talking as a pass rusher, I'd go Bosa or Josh Allen.
You think any of those guys fall to 6?
I'll give you one scenario where maybe it's possible. One scenario where it's possible Allen falls to the Giants. And I don't expect this to happen. Murray goes first overall, which everybody seems to think could happen. Bosa and Williams go 2 and 3 in any specific order. Somebody jumps the Giants to get a quarterback at 4 overall. The Redskins jump from 15 to 4 to get Haskins. And then the 5th pick takes that, the Bucs take DK Metcalf, who blew it away at the Combine. I could see somebody reaching a little bit for him. In that scenario where the Giants get jumped for a quarterback and Murray goes first overall, in that scenario, I think it's possible Josh Allen could fall to 6.
It's good. Well, that's all I got. That's all I had to ask.
All right, buddy. Thank you for the call.
No problem.
All right, have a good one. Doggy, I'm not a Rosen guy, and a lot of people might not like hearing that. I'm not a Rosen guy, but Rosen has talent. And if you get him for a second-round pick, you got to seriously entertain that. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Entertainer talking sports. What's up, my brother?
Is this Enzo?
This is Enzo. What's going on?
How you doing, Enzo?
I'm good, brother. Trying to get past through this snow.
Yeah, I'm sure. How's Chewy doing?
Chewy's doing good, brother. After all that she went through, the chemo's good. Chewy's cleared from cancer. Now she's just being a kid again.
Good to hear that, my man. Good to hear that.
Yeah, man. It's good to talk to you with Chris.
Yeah, man, for sure, buddy, for sure, man.
Shout out to Road Dogg. Shout out to Scott Thomas. Shout out to Last Jedi. Shout out to Cushman. Shout out to my boy Fox. Yeah, shout out to Asia. Y'all know who it is. Y'all all up in the building. You know how we do. Entertain and talking sports all day.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You're a great...
I can't...
Go ahead.
I can't forget my... No, go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, what's going on? It's Cole. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. No, man, I want to say thank you to you for all the support you always show my channel. You're always in the community notes shouting out my channel. You're in the chat shouting out my channel. You check out my videos. It means the world to me. So,
you know how you and Bad Dog, man. I first subscribed to you, Chris, and then you put me on to Bad Dog, and Bad Dog put me on to the Sports Fury, and Sports Fury put me on to Philly, and Philly put me on to Sir Cardinal. I'm with Sir Cardinal.
Well,
I just love everybody. Everybody's good people.
That's what's great about the sports community is everybody helps everybody out, and that's what's great about it. I mean, I've given Bad Dog a lot of subscribers. He's given me a lot of subscribers. That's what YouTube's about. So, and the Sports Fury and Phil, everybody else, everybody works together. But
we all family here, man. We all family here. And if you guys like that hip hop, you know how I do. Hit my boy up, QC. Jersey in the building, Giants stand up.
So what do you think about
Entertainer, I love you, my brother. You good people, man. You really good people. You got the patience, man. You good people, bro.
I love you too, man. I love you too, Enzo. You're great for my channel.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. You guys on the stream, man. Y'all all good people. I love it, man. Bobby, shout out. Bobby, shout out. Sexy Goat, Crazy Mofo. I'm forgetting. Look, I'm forgetting y'all. I gotta look at my ADS TV just to make sure I don't forget nobody.
I'll do the shout outs for you. Nick Howard, Jeffrey Abbey, you didn't say. Afghanistan, Cesar Munoz, Rogue Dogg, Scott Thomas. It's cold.
My boy Arthur. Don't forget Arthur.
Arthur too, yeah, and yeah, for sure, man. But I just want to say thank you so much for calling. And Whitney, did you say Whitney? And I just want to.
Rick City in the building, Whitney.
But V, it's cold. It says.
Bobby, Last Jedi, Princess Red Gang.
I just want
Chris, I'll let you do your show, brother.
Thank you so much for calling in, buddy. Thank you so much for calling in.
You got it, my brother. You got it.
All right, have a good one. And it's Cole, man. Yeah, that's another person that I can never thank enough for collaborating with me. He says, I thank, let me read the exact message, pull up the chat. I think I have it popped out. 1 second, just want to read this message from the chat. He says, I thank Jet Central for finding you 5 months ago. Your vids are awesome. I'm a Jets, Knicks, Mets fan, so we agree on 2 things, and I always listen to your side when something breaking happens. I appreciate that. It's Cole. It means the world to me, and I can never thank Jet Central enough. That's another guy that I worked with that helped out my channel a lot. And some of my best subscribers are Jets fans, so I could never thank him enough. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Chris?
Yeah, what's up? Who's this?
AMG.
AMG, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I just wanted to say something. I think Dave Gettleman's really messing up by letting Landon walk. And especially, we're paying Eli $23 million a year. Olivier Vernon, $15 million a year. Janoris Jenkins, Kareem Maher, 6. But we can't get money. We can't cut or get a pay cut from somebody to sign Landon for 10 or 11.
Well, you. By the way, I just want to say hello to Waterboy Report. Go ahead and check him out. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. But as far as you're actually wrong on that. They're paying 20, 19.5 to Vernon. You said 15. They're paying 19.5 over the next 2 years. Yeah, I mean, I get that you're frustrated. I would have franchised him. I wouldn't have given him a 5-year deal, but I would have franchised him. I would have franchised him for 1 year and then tried to franchise him an additional year. I don't agree with just letting the guy go.
I don't know.
You know?
And who do you think that with us getting rid of Landon, they're planning on signing Amos if he hits the free agency?
That's the guy I want the most. I've wanted him the most for 3 months. That's the guy that I think fits our price range and he fits our need perfectly. Question is, does he become available? If he's available, that's the guy I want the Giants to take a serious look at.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I could think that we would let him go for nothing.
But the thing is, if you bring him in, you still need a strong safety. I was hoping that they'd have Collins at the strong safety and Amos at the free safety, and they let Curtis Riley walk. So if they bring in Amos, they're still going to need to draft the safety.
What was it? I needed? It was who was that? It was a safety from, I think it was Joe. I think it was from Florida or something.
You talking about college?
Yeah, I really love. Oh yeah, Juwan Thorhill. He had a 44-inch vertical, and I think he'd be a serious ball hawk on here. Or I think he could really help out our team if we let him go.
I'm gonna have to take a look at the combine today. I didn't have a chance to look at it today, but I taped it, so I'm definitely gonna look at it tonight. I'm gonna have to take a look at all the prospects from today because I really thought they were going to bring Collins back, so I didn't think safety was going to be a position that we were going to draft in the first 2 rounds in this year's draft. But now that I'm looking at the list right now, I'm trying to find Florida. You talking about Gardner Johnson?
No, I'm sorry, he's not from Florida. He's from Juwan Thorhill. He's from.
Oh yes. He's projected to be a 2nd round pick out of Virginia.
Yeah.
Juwan Thornhill. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds from Virginia. So that might be a guy we're looking at. That might be the guy. They have Adderley and Thompson going in the first, and then they have Thornhill being the first guy in the 2nd round. That might be the guy the Giants are looking at. And you said he had a good combine today?
Yeah, he had a 44-inch vert.
I'll have to take a look. I'll have to take an extensive look at him. Sounds like a guy that they're certainly going to be targeting in the 2nd round.
And one person that I think performed really well today is the corner from Clemson, Jamel Dean, I think it is. He ran a 4.3, and I think he's 6'2".
Ooh. So you're talking. What? How did what's his name? Greedy Williams do? Not that the Giants aren't going to draft him, but he has a similar body to that. 6'2".
He ran a 4.35 or a 4.38.
So he certainly helped his draft stock too today. I'm actually looking forward to watching it now. Tonight.
Yeah, Jamel Dean's 6'2", 207 pounds.
And he ran a 4.340?
Yeah, he ran a 4.38.
Wow. Where do they got him ranked? I'm looking on the list. I don't even see him. What's his name? Oh, there he is. They got him ranked as the 200th overall prospect. So he's a guy you're targeting in like the 4th or 5th round. But he probably helped his draft stock a bit today.
Yeah, I just don't understand how Gettleman. He was saying how we need to get more playmakers on defense, and we're going to lose them.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know what they're going to do this year. It's scary right now. It's scary right now. But hopefully they do the right thing. That's all we can hope for as fans, right?
Yeah, and with re-signing Tanny, why do you think does that mean like they really don't think about drafting a quarterback this year. Because I don't see why you would re-sign Tanny to a 2 deal.
Well, I think that definitely signifies that they're going to cut Laletta, which I don't really get, actually, to tell you the truth, because Laletta cost you almost as much to cut him as to keep him. I think he carried about a $600,000 dead cap hit, something like that. But maybe it was like a $200,000 difference to cut him as to keep him. But I guess he's that bad of an influence off the field with the stuff he got into the trouble, and I guess they don't like him. It sounds like they're cutting him if they're bringing back Tanny.
Yeah, and there's I don't think this is happening, but there's been a rumor how the Redskins are in lead to get Rosen, but they're only giving up a 3rd rounder.
No way.
That's what I saw earlier.
No, I'm not saying you didn't. If that happens, that's crazy. A 3rd round pick for a guy that went 10th overall last year, who had a horrible support system with the talent that, and I don't even like Rosen, but I recognize the guy has talent. That would be crazy. But
yeah, I didn't think.
That's crazy.
I don't know why I know Cliff Kingsbury likes Tyler, but I don't think you get rid of a quarterback you drafted last and you traded up for him. It just doesn't make no sense to me.
Yeah.
When you still have prospects like Quentin Will, you can get anybody in this year's draft that you want, and then you're gonna waste it on a 5-10 quarterback, which I like him, but I don't think he's worth the first pick in the draft.
I think it's a horrible decision by the Cardinals. I think it's a horrible decision. And I think it shows the GM doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Because if I was the general manager that drafted, was in charge, and it's the same general manager from last year, so it's the same guy that traded up to get Josh Rosen, and then he hired a coach that doesn't want Josh Rosen as his quarterback, tell me how that makes sense. Wouldn't you hire a coach that wanted Josh Rosen to be your quarterback if you were the guy who drafted Josh Rosen?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Adam Gase would have fit nice in Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go, buddy, because I'm sure other people want to call in. But great call, man. Great call.
All right,
my man. Have a good one. Yeah, Samuel Banks. Exactly. It doesn't make sense to me. Bottom says Rosen would go in 1st round in the draft. Wouldn't be surprised if they fetch another. I would think he'd command the 1st. Bottom. I would think he'd command the 1st. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, how you doing? Listen, I need some pies for delivery. Okay, get this down. I need 2 Carusos.
2 Carusos.
2 Pavarottis.
Okay.
One Sinatra and 1 Frank Nitti. How long and how much?
I love Mark Israel, the original.
Chris.
Yeah, it's me. You got the wrong number.
I thought I was calling the spaghetti and wine dealership down there on the boulevard. All right. I'm sorry.
How you doing, buddy?
Okay. Just a couple of things. I know you guys are talking Collins and all of that. I'm just going to get off football for a couple of things. First of all, number one, last night I went back and I watched the video you did, what is it, on Friday night with Bad Dog. What is that, the Talking Nonsense?
Oh, yes. Yeah, well, that's on private now. So how'd you watch that?
When was it?
That's on private. So you watched it on Friday, you mean?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I either went back or I watched whenever it was on. Why? It's not on? I thought maybe I did watch it when it was on. I don't know.
Yeah, we make it private. But, we make it private. What's going on, Playboy? We make it private after we go live.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so I guess I was watching part of it live. But anyway, one of the sections of it that I was watching was where you were trying to do an imitation of, I don't know who you were trying to sing. Maybe it was Billy Joel or something.
All right.
But what I'm getting at is when I had it on speaker on my phone, and both of my dogs were howling like you can't believe. I mean, like you cannot believe. You know what it's like trying to get 2 mastiffs to shut the hell up?
I apologize. I apologize for the inconvenience. And by the way, I just want to say hello to Geomon. I see he's in the chat. But I apologize for your inconvenience, buddy.
No, that's okay. I guess they liked it, but yeah, right after they heard it, they had to go out and do a number 2. But anyway, this is what I wanted to really talk about, and this kind of got me upset. So, when I called you, I spoke to you yesterday, and I told you I was on my way to go see the Islanders, which I went with a buddy of mine, his son and my son.
Okay.
So, obviously, you're from Long Island. You know where the Coliseum is. It's right off Hempstead Turnpike.
Yep, right by Nassau Community College over there.
Right, and Hofstra, right there.
Mm-hmm.
But right across the street from the main parking lot, there's a Starbucks. So the four of us decide to go into the Starbucks and, get some coffee, maybe a little something to eat.
Right.
So we're standing in line, and we're just about to get up to the counter, and I'm looking over out towards the Starbucks parking lot, and I see this guy walking in.
Okay.
And he looks very familiar, and I double take, and I look at him, and I realize it's Mike Bossy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
The great Islanders.
So, right. So I said to my friend and my son and his son, I said, Mike Bossy's about to walk in that door. So he comes in, and where we finally get to the front of the line, we're ordering, and Bossy's standing on the very back of the line, and the place is packed. Okay. Completely filled. A lot of Islander fans, a lot of people in there wearing Islander jerseys and whatever else, because it was literally maybe a half hour before the game was supposed to start. So Bossy walks in, we order, and I'm like, we have to say hello to him. Maybe my son and his son were wearing Islander jerseys. I'm like, maybe you can get them to sign your jerseys,
Mm-hmm.
So we walk up, and very nicely, say hello. He was nice, tell him how, kiss his ass a little, tell him how great he was and all of that. But this is what I'm getting at. My buddy and I and our sons, we were the only four in the entire establishment that even knew who he was.
Wow.
Not a
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I would have known who he was.
Oh, well, you're not. You admittedly, you're not really a hockey fan, and yes, of course, he was, big back in the '80s.
Right.
But still, to me, I've been an Islander fan since I'm a little kid, and you've been a Giant fan, and imagine going somewhere, especially outside of MetLife Stadium, and LT walked in the door, and nobody knew who he was.
Well, that's on another level. I'd be amazed. By the way, I just want to say hello to the movie critics in the chat. I would be amazed if LT walked into a building and nobody knew who he was.
Right, but I'm saying, that's on the same. Mike Bossy is not only one of the greatest scorers in NHL history. He's obviously probably the greatest Islander to ever play for the Islanders. And
right.
Like I said, the place was packed with Islander fans. Not one other person came up. And this is the other thing. As we're leaving, and like I said, he signed my son's jersey. He was a great guy, very nice, very cordial. On the way out, some guy says to my friend, "Who is that?"
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was also on his way to the Islander game, and we're like, "It's Mike Bossy." And I think I didn't hear him, but I think my friend said the guy was like, "Who? Who's that?"
I just want to say, Ibadam, incredible donation. Thank you so much for that. Ibadam, I always see you tuning into my my videos. You always comment, and I'm glad you're at the live stream tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I didn't mean to interrupt your story there.
No, that's okay. I understand. But yeah, I just wanted to. I had to get that off my chest. I couldn't believe it.
No, that's a cool story. That's a cool story because I'm trying to picture it as if it was a Mike Piazza or a Lawrence Taylor. And I just want to say hello to Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Odell. I'm a big fan, buddy. I'm a Jet fan, but Odell, you're awesome.
So, now I know you're a Jet fan. This has been a hypothetical trade. It'll never happen. But would you... we talked about the Brown trade last time. Would you trade your third pick for Beckham? Hypothetical.
Third pick for Beckham. Just the third pick?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Probably not.
It's never going to happen. I'm just curious to get your take on it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it.
Because a lot of people, always ask me that question.
And this is another thing, and I commented on JC's channel the other day because he did a video about the whole Kyler Murray being taken number one and all of that. And I commented to see what people thought, but I mean, imagine, I said, because at one time, Kingsbury's name was bandied about and brought up about possibly coming to the Jets, and the Jets talking to him, remember?
Right.
So I was saying to myself, imagine if they did hire Kingsbury and he came to the Jets and tried to do the same thing with Darnold. How would Jet fans feel about that?
After you traded 3 second-round picks the year before. That's what I don't get. I said that earlier. Like, how does this make any sense, this whole situation? This general manager traded up to get this guy last year. It's the same exact general manager. And then he hires a coach who doesn't want the guy he traded up for. How does it make any sense? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, look, the Cardinals have pretty much been in the same boat as, the Jets and, teams. And it's like my father used to say. My father said, and I'm sorry to use this word, but my father always said, when you have shit in your blood, you can't get it out. And these are teams that have that in their blood. So,
yeah, you're right.
They're the ones that make all the wrong decisions, make the wrong moves. They're always the ones that end up on the short end of the stick. So, but yeah, I mean, look, whatever. We'll see what happens. But of course, it's interesting, and it's going to be a lot of fun, over the next month to see how everything plays out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing my mock tomorrow. I'm hoping to have it done by tomorrow. I'm going to start it tomorrow. Hopefully it's done. I'm going to have Murray going first overall because I'm going to buy into the rumors, so we'll see how it goes. But I just want to say thank you so much for the call, buddy. Always one of my best callers. Enjoyed the story.
Hey,
thank you for calling in.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right, you too, buddy. I take my chances. Yeah, I'm a Haskins guy. You know that about him if you see me. Oh, you obviously watch my videos. I'm a Haskins. I'm definitely a Haskins fan. He's my number one guy in this draft. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, Tanner? How you doing today, boss?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's your boy, Nick Howard, man.
Nick Howard. Yeah, I'm still learning the phone numbers because you've called in now a few times. I'll get it down eventually. What's going on, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. You?
I'm doing good, man. I still was a little shocked by this this news here with Collins. I'm going to definitely tune into the sports fairs after this. I'm looking forward to watching that. Hopefully they're still on when I'm off. But
yeah, I'm going to pop in there, too.
Yeah, but what's going on, buddy?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just want to talk Collins a little bit. Just maybe some possible moves you guys might make in free agency and draft time.
Yeah. But and by the way, Bavith, I will take you next. I know your first 3 digits of your area code. You're one of my best subs. I will take you next. But yeah, let's talk Collins, man.
Yeah, I want to say I don't know, I feel like nowadays in the league, you can't really have a safety be one of your top 5 guys on roster, top 10 guys. You can't give that position too much money. Ed Reed's only come around so often, but I want to say in my opinion, Collins is a little overrated. He performed that one year, I think 2017, he beasted, but since then he's kind of been overpaid and underachieved. But I wanted to see, I know you like Amos. I think he's a solid guy too, but in my opinion, he's kind of like a box safety, a really good, come to the line and play the run game tackler type safety. But I wanted to see what you think about Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix has underperformed, but he has high upside, and I think he's going to be pretty affordable from what I've read. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the contract will be, but that's a guy I would look at. There's a few guys I would look at in that second tier. He's definitely one of them. That may be the route the Giants go. Who knows? Maybe they sign 2 guys in free agency at the safety position if they could get 2 semi-affordable guys. Maybe you get 2 guys for the price of Collins, let's say a $6 and an $8 million guy, 14 instead of giving Collins 11.
Exactly.
They may do something like that. It's possible. And then they don't have to address the safety position in the second round. They could focus on improving the offensive line or getting a pass rusher if they go quarterback in the first. That may be the best route to take. It depends on what safeties hit the open market. But there's a bunch. The safety class is the best out of all the positions this year in free agency. And adding Collins to that is just one more name that will now go to another team that may have taken a player that the Giants wanted otherwise. So that may help them at getting a guy like an Amos or someone else like that. So we'll have to see how it plays out.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm with you in that. Like, it's smart to like maybe let like a high price guy like Collins walk, and then get like a young like 26 to 29-year-old safety on his like second or third contract, like with a little bit of youth and some fresh legs.
Yeah, I would have liked Collins back on the franchise, but not a long-term contract. So they might have just felt that he wasn't going to play and it wasn't worth the headache, because they might have said to themselves, listen, we're only going to keep him for one more year. So, you know what I'm saying? They might have just been like, we're only going to keep him for one more year, so we might as well just go after we might as well let him go and attack in a free agency in the draft.
Yeah.
You know? But
yeah, and I was going to say, too.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, too, I kind of keep, like, my ear to the streets and kind of, like, try to, know what's going on with my franchise here in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love your
I know
team, by the
friends
way.
of players. What's that?
I love your team, by the way. I think the Browns are going to be good next year.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Baker is a stud, man. I love Chubb. I can't wait to see the two-headed monster when Hunt comes, like, after, like, 8 to 10 weeks of being suspended. I think that's going to be a bomb-ass 1-2 punch. But I was, like I said, I kind of keep my ears to the streets, and I know a couple of players, no name drops, and friends of players, and I see people out and about. And I heard rumor is Jarvis Landry is trying to talk his boy from LSU, the Honey Badger, from the Texans, into coming here to Cleveland and switching and playing corner, because we're already set at safety with Peppers and Randall. Randall is like one of the biggest steals, a trade steal ever. That dude balled out last year for us. But I heard Honey Badger might come here to the land, and I heard reports, too, that you guys are looking at maybe trying to sign Kareem Jackson from the Texans.
I don't like that.
Put a little. You don't like that?
I don't like that. He's old, right? He's like 30, right?
I think he just turned 30. But
yeah,
I heard you guys are trying to put some pressure on Jenkins, because he's kind of underperformed. And I heard they might like try to swap him out, maybe bump Webb to the nickel, or even make Jenkins play some safety.
Yeah, I don't want Jackson. I don't. If they're gonna get a corner, I want a younger guy, like you said. I want if I'm signing free agents, I want youth. I don't want guys that are 30, because we saw what happened to those guys. Not that Vernon was 30, but we see what happens to guys as they get older. When we signed these big name free agent 3 years ago, they were good for 1 year, and then they went to shit. So
yeah,
I want youth, and mainly I want to build the team through the draft, because that's how you win. And I wouldn't go after a 30-year-old. And that's an interesting idea you got with the Honey Badger. I don't know if that will happen. So your corner's Denzel Ward, obviously, and then I guess you need one on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, you know the league. Like, you could never have enough corners. Like, it's all about having fresh legs. Like, you can throw 2 solid guys back at safety, and they'll be good for you. But it's all about keeping fresh legs and keeping guys in there in the third and fourth quarter, and keeping up with like these crazy athletic wideouts you got nowadays. But, yeah, you can never have enough corners, and injuries always seem to plague the corner position, always.
Yeah. No. You definitely could use, especially in today's game, there's a lot of packages where you have 3-4 cornerbacks even sometimes out there at once. So you could definitely use depth at corner. I would guess the Honey Badger will probably want to play safety, because that's his natural position. And I think he's probably going to be the second or third most coveted safety on the market. So I think somebody's going to offer him a job as a safety.
I think a lot of people are worried about his injury concerns, though, because he's a little slight. Like, he's a little underweight for safety, but he hits hard for how small he is. Like, he packs a punch. But, yeah, I think nobody's going to really, like, gamble on him, like, right away in the free agency. And having that, LSU connection with Jarvis, I think he might lean towards maybe switching positions. He played multiple positions in Arizona, and he's got a connection with Freddie Kitchens, the head coach, because he used to coach over there, and kind of like knows of him.
He's certainly capable of it. He's very athletic for a safety. I wouldn't doubt that he could do it. It would be how much? What's your cap situation like, Cleve? They have a decent amount of space, right?
Yeah, they got a lot. They got, I think, I don't know. We had a couple cuts lately. I don't know if like there was any dead money associated with that, but I thought we were somewhere in between 60 to 70.
Yeah, Cleveland. I'm telling you right now, you guys are my pick next year to win the North.
Yeah,
I like you guys to win the North, and I think I like the Colts a lot with the cap space they got going on over there with luck in the offensive line. I think I'm taking the Colts to go to the Super Bowl next year. I got to see how it plays out with the draft and free agency, but a lot of potential there in Indianapolis. But
yeah, I'm with you. I second that.
Yeah, but I'm going to let you go, buddy, because I'm sure other people want to call me. But as always, man, terrific call, man. Always love talking to you.
Hell yeah, my man. You too. And peace, love, and chest hair, my man.
I'll be sure to see you over there on the other channel after Sports Fair. Thank you for calling, buddy.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, my man. And I see Rudy's in the chat. What's going on? Oh, God. Pavit, I will take you next. I completely forgot. I answered the next call. 5. I know your first 3. If you're still in the chat, I will absolutely take your call next. What's going on, Rudy? How you doing, buddy? And I see who else came in the chat. Playboy's still here. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's going on? You're on live.
This is the movie critic.
The movie critic. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How's everything, man?
It's going good, man. Going good. A little sour news there with Collins. I didn't love Collins, but I liked him, and I thought for sure he'd be back on the franchise tag. So a little shocking. So that was the big news of the day. So we'll see how the Giants go with that. But how you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah. So what was your thoughts overall of the combine?
I didn't get to watch it today. I have it taped. I'm going to watch it after the show. I was too busy today. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, but I just mean in general of what
I saw, Haskins blew me away at the quarterbacks. I shouldn't say blew me away. I knew he was going to do good. But his deep ball looked beautiful, like I thought it would. Locke, to me, was a little disappointing on the deep throws. He looked good in the short and intermediate throws at the quarterback position. Jones was a letdown for me. I didn't like what I saw to Daniel Jones. Finley was Finley looked good for a second-tier quarterback prospect. I like what I saw there. Wide receiver spot, Metcalf stole the show. Paris Campbell, I like him a lot. I said that before the combine. I like him. Ran a 4.31. As far as the defense goes, Montez Sweat stole the show there. Brian Burns ran a nice 40 time, 4.54, I think, 4.55. Quentin Williams looked great. We knew he would. Those were, and of course, Devin White. Devin White, 4.41, I think, something crazy like that. He really helped his draft stock as well. So, from what I've seen, those off the top man were the guys that helped and hurt the draft stock.
Okay, so I have a question. If the Giants cannot get Dwayne Haskins for whatever reason, who would you want them to take? Let's say Kyler Murray's gone and Dwayne Haskins, and it's their pick. Well, who would you want them to take at that pick?
So you're saying if Murray so the two quarterbacks are gone.
Yeah, because Murray's possibility to go first overall now, right?
Well, I'm going to have him going first in my next mock. I'm going.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anybody could jump in front of the Giants and take Haskins and just say, I hope it don't happen, but anything can happen.
I may do this, by the way, in my next mock. I know a lot of Giants fans are going to want me to pick Haskins, and I did in my first mock. I may do that.
Yeah.
I may have a team jump the Giants to make it more interesting. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if Haskins is there at 6, I have the Giants taking him. And I may even say that at the beginning of the draft so people don't go, why didn't you pick Haskins? I may make it more interesting and have a team jump the Giants to make it that scenario. And it depends who's there. I mean, if Josh Allen somehow falls to 6, which I think is possible in that scenario. I went over it earlier. Murray goes 1. You've got Quentin Williams. You got Quentin Williams and Bosa in the 2-3. A team jumps to 4. They take Haskins at 4. And then at 5, Tampa Bay could easily take DK Metcalf. He blew people away, the wide receiver. So if that were to happen, Josh Allen in a second. But if Josh Allen isn't there, say the top 3, the consensus top 3 defensive players are gone, and the 2 quarterbacks are gone, I would take Devin White.
Yeah. Wait, who did you have the Jets taking? I missed that.
Either Quentin Williams or Bosa in that scenario.
Oh, yeah. I hear they like Bosa a lot, actually.
Yeah. But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But I'm hoping for Haskins at this point. Because I look at it like this. You can't wait for the perfect specimen at quarterback. And I like Haskins enough to think that he can get the job done. Rudy says, I love Collins more as a defensive player than a safety. To see him go is almost disappointing when we let JPP go. I want to believe Gettleman has a big plan to replace. I hope so. I forgot what I was going to say. I was talking about Haskins. Yeah, I'm of the belief that you can't wait forever for a perfect prospect. And the other thing that I think it does for the Giants what's going on? Stand up, Air Force. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. But I think what it does for the Giants in next year's draft is it gives them so much flexibility rather than to be pigeonholed into taking a quarterback. And I know next year's draft is a quarterback-heavy draft. But if the Giants, unfortunately, end up with another high draft pick next year, which hopefully they don't. Hopefully they win the Super Bowl. Hopefully we're picking 32. But if we're picking top 5 again, top 6, top 7, whatever it is, the Giants are going to get a hell of a player in next year's draft because there's going to be 3 quarterbacks in the top 6 or 7 picks, mark my words. And the Giants will have a ton of value to be able to trade down for a quarterback-needy team, and they'll get a plethora of picks. So I think it gives the Giants a lot more options and value in next year's draft if they take Haskins this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they don't get Haskins, it's not the end of the world. I really want Haskins. He's my preferred guy, but, you know, there's always somebody that you can build this team around because there's a lot of stuff that we need, you know? Like pass rushers.
I don't want to interrupt. I just want to answer a couple things from the chat. Joseph, I plan on it. As long as they're still alive, I'm going to go till about 9:15, 9:20. So as long as they're still alive, I'm going to go over there. Daniel asked, which quarterbacks, Tua, Herbert? Yes, those are the 3 consensus in next year's draft. I don't really love from what I've seen from Georgia. Tua is a slam dunk prospect. I think he's going to be very good, and I like Herbert. I don't love Herbert, but I like him. But keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, wait. Who's live? What they say?
The Sports Fury. Sports Fury's got their first live video call-in show tonight.
Oh, yeah. So what I was saying was I want Haskins. It's the preferred pick for me. But if we don't get Haskins, I think we should go pass rusher. That's my opinion.
Yeah, of course. Well, a pass rusher or, I mean, Devin White is a stud. Pass rusher or Devin White, I would go in that situation. And somebody just said Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence cannot be in next year's draft. He won't be eligible. You're going to have to wait till the fall. Woodshed, man. What's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? What? He says if we don't he's one of my best subs. I just want to address him. I haven't seen him in a while. If we don't fix the defense, we will be picking in the top 10 again. Yeah, absolutely. I think we will. Unfortunately, Woodshed, I think it's going to be hard to fix it now knowing that Collins probably won't be back. But anything else, buddy, before I let you go?
Yeah. I have one last quick question. I was going to say, what about if the Giants trade their pick and move back into the draft? Do you see that as a possibility if they don't get Haskins?
I think it's definitely a possibility. But the one thing I will say is Gettleman has never had a history of trading back in his life. And last year would have been the perfect time. Now, I know he loved Barkley, and I'm glad he loved Barkley because Barkley is my favorite Giant of all time up to this point in my life is Eli Manning. But I think Barkley's going to surpass that. I absolutely love Barkley. I'm so happy that Dave Gettleman did not listen to the media. He didn't listen to the fans. He stuck to his guns, and he took Saquon Barkley. It was a great pick. I don't care how Donald does throughout his career. But I will say this. If he didn't trade down in last year's draft, I don't think he's trading down in this one. Because last year's draft, you could have got whatever you wanted for the second overall pick. So if he didn't do it last year, I'd be shocked if he does it this year.
Yeah. I just think that this year, I mean, if you don't get Haskins, I think that would be a very smart move if they could, you know? If they could get something that...
Yeah, we'll see. I'm getting a call on my regular phone. Let me ignore that. But let me turn down the volume. But I'm gonna let you go because we've been on for a while.
Yeah, you can let me go now. Just have a good stream, man. Always enjoy watching you.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for the call.
Take care, bro.
All right, buddy.
Yep, no
have a good one.
Bye.
Good call there by the Movie Critic. Be sure to check his channel out there. He's trying to build his channel up. What's going on? Goat Quan back in the house. Let's go, champ. What's up, Chris? What's your thoughts on Stidham? Stidham was the other... Oh, God, I forgot again. Pavit. I'm so sorry. 516 next, I promise. Actually, you know what? I'm going to... Yeah, Pavit, I will take you next. I'm so sorry. I can't hang up on this person. What's going on? You're on live.
This is Lucas Milk.
Lucas Milk, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? And by the way, before you talk, Stidham, it was the other quarterback that really impressed in the second round. No. I don't mean to keep forgetting Bavit. It's just that I get instant callers and I just right away I click the phone button. It's just a habit, and I get into these long conversations. Movie Critic, thank you so much. He says thanks for the call and shout out, Bavit. I swear, I am going to take my hands off the keyboard. I am taking you next. I promise. But what's up, Lucas? How you doing, buddy? And thank you so much, Movie Critic, for the super chat. And go over there and check him out. What's up, buddy?
I'm not doing too much, you know. I'm just getting ready to move.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, yeah, there's nothing much going on. I'm just tired. It's going to be a busy month for me.
You sound tired. You sound very tired. You sound like maybe you took Maybe you drank too much milk today, Lucas Milk.
Yeah, I may have.
Yeah, you might have. But anything you want to talk about?
It's chug.
Because you're gonna put me to sleep.
Oh my. Yeah. No, not too much. I like sweat.
Geomon brings up a good point. He says that you might want to take some Adderall or some crack. That might wake you up.
Oh.
I think that's a good idea. I actually think that's a really good idea. Maybe a Red Bull.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And Bottom says some Red Bull. Maybe lay off the milk. You might need a Red Bull.
Okay.
But Lucas, you got anything to say? Because I'm gonna get a pillow in a second.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If we don't take Haskins, I want Sweat. Just.
Well, Sweat's certainly got a high upside. I mean, we saw his 40 time at the combine, and he definitely shot up the draft boards for sure. And we'll see how that goes. But I don't think they'll take Sweat. I still think Sweat, as good of an athlete as Sweat is, everything I read about him, he's still not a complete product. He's still not. He still has things to work on in his game. So I'd be surprised if we take Sweat 6th overall. As much as I like Sweat, I had Sweat going much higher in my first mock than most experts. I had him going 12th. And I think I'm still going to have him going to the Packers. I think they're going to need an edge rusher. I think it's the perfect fit. He fits the system in the 3-4. I see him going 12th to the Packers.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let you go, Lucas, because I got some people trying to call in. And you seem like you're going to bed anyway.
Yeah.
So I hope you have a good night, buddy. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
It's only 6 my time.
Oh, wow. We got to get some sleep, man. You got to get some sleep. Lucas, I appreciate the call as always, buddy. I appreciate the call. So we are going to be, wow, Lucas is always mellow. But he was especially tired today. We're going to be waiting for Bavit to call in, 516. I know that. I'm not going to say the rest of his number, but I'm going to wait. Hands are off the keyboard, Bavit. Go ahead. Rockabye Baby on the treetop. That's right, Joe Musa. Nope, not Bavit. I promised him. I promised Bavit. There he is. What is going on, my man? How you doing?
Chris, you're getting too famous on me, man. You're getting too famous on me.
What's going on, man? Bavit, one of my best subs, been here since the beginning. What's going on?
Doing great, talent stallion, 5 feet.
Yeah,
Mr. 5 feet in the building.
Bavit has this fixation. He thinks that I'm like 5'5". Now I know that people have said that I sound like Stallone in the past, and I know he was 5'5". But I swear, Bavit, if we ever meet, you're gonna be surprised. I'm 5'11". 5'11".
Well, I don't know, man. It seems like you have an obsession with number 5 because people call random goes 5s on random chats. You know what I'm saying? you wild, bro. You wild.
So what's going on, man?
So, what do you think about what do you think the backup plan? Do you think Gettleman actually has a backup plan for losing Collins, or do you think he's just gonna go with whatever happens with free agency?
What? Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Do you think Gettleman actually has a backup plan for what's gonna happen after Collins leaves, or do you think he's gonna go with what happens with free agency?
I definitely think they have a backup plan. I think that they probably knew this now for months that they weren't going to be bringing back Collins, and I think that's probably what that meeting was about. Why he left his locker the way he did, and he stormed out of there. And they probably said, "You're either taking the franchise tag or we're not going to keep you." And he probably said, "I'm not playing with you guys," and he left. And yeah, I think they have something in place. But the thing with free agency is you don't know how it's going to play out. I'm sure they have their targets. But we don't know. We don't know who's going to be available. You know, that's you're rolling the dice.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen a lot of people getting mad about Collins leaving, but people don't understand that with the franchise tag, there's a 99% chance he's not going to play the season. So it really makes no sense to franchise tag at all.
See, but that's where I disagree. Somebody said that earlier. I think he would have played because he probably made a Thank you so much, Movie Critic, for the super chat. He says, "Lucas, lay off the booze, but not the honey jack." Thank you for the super chat. But I think he would have played on the franchise tag because he only made about, I'll say, $7 million over the first 4 years or whatever it was of his career. He would have. It's almost double in 1 year what he would have made over his whole career. I think when push came to shove, he would have played.
I see that, but like he's a smart guy. He's not gonna risk his well-being for the rest of however long he's gonna play for one season for like $11 million. I'm pretty sure smarter than that.
Yeah, I mean, he would have threatened, much like Oshie did. But I think when push came to shove at the beginning of the year, if he had no option but to play for $11 million, and I will say this, it might have been a distraction. He might have not, it would have been a thing throughout training camp, and it would have been a distraction. That's for damn sure. And he probably also saw what the Giants did with Odell last year, and he probably got jealous. He probably said, "Well, you gave Odell all that money. Why aren't you giving it to me? I produce for you guys." That's probably what he told them. And the Giants probably stuck to their guns, and I think that's why we are where we are.
Yeah, I do see the distraction, even with him being not on the roster for next year. Because think about it, if you watch the Giants games, you can see it's Collins and Jenkins. These guys are like tight. Like they're the only two guys that are tight on the team. They always like audible to each other. I have never seen Collins talk to someone else with passion with him, with Jenkins. So I don't think we're gonna have a great defense next year because I don't think anyone messing with each other like that.
Yeah, all right. I'm with you, man. I mean, our defense was gonna be bad as is, and it's not gonna be one of these off seasons like 2015 when we go out there and we sign 4 big name free agents. We don't have the money to do it, and it's not the wise decision. We saw what happened. It fixed our defense for 1 year, then it fell apart. I think this is going to be a multi-year process. You're going to have to see Lorenzo Carter continue to progress. You're going to have to see B.J. Hill continue to progress. They're going to draft some defensive players early in the draft. They're going to probably sign 1 or 2 younger players in free agency. And it's going to be a 2 or 3 year process. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, and what I got to say is, who do you guys for the Giants picking up as an offensive lineman in free agency? Because pretty obviously they're not picking up anyone in the draft.
Darrell Williams. A matter of fact, I'd be shocked if they don't get Darrell Williams. He's a perfect fit. Fills in at the right tackle. He's going to cost you about $9 million, $10 million a year. Former Pro Bowler. This year he got hurt. That's why you're getting him for a little cheaper than what I think his actual value is worth. And Gettleman drafted him. So Gettleman likes him when he was in Carolina. So I think he's perfect.
How old is he?
26, 27. I think he's 27.
Oh, that's a steal then.
Yeah, I think they're going to get him. I really do. I think they'll get him for about $9 or $10 million on a per year basis for 3 or 4 years. That's what I'm expecting.
And what the Josh Rosen thing? You get Josh Rosen for a 2nd round pick. You actually want him? For a long time.
I'm not saying I'm craving Josh Rosen, but I got to be fair. And I like Dwayne Haskins. I want Dwayne Haskins. But you got to think of it from a GM standpoint. You got to take your hat off. You got to take your fanhood off. If you could get a franchise quarterback, a potential franchise quarterback, and he obviously has talent. I mean, people were saying it was either him or Darnold going into the draft last year. He definitely has talent. And his supporting cast in Arizona is horrible. I don't like Rosen. And I don't think he would do well in New York. But you certainly have to consider it. You certainly have to consider it if you're only giving up a 2nd or a 3rd round pick for the guy, because then that gives you the ability to get your franchise quarterback of the future and still you're not paying him much, and then you could still draft a stud player at the top of the draft. So you have to consider it, in my opinion. You have to be fair and consider it.
Yeah, and going back to the Giants, what I think is going to happen this year is the same thing as that happened to Cleveland. Last year, we're going to get a good quarterback. Probably, I think he's going to start doing, if we draft Dwayne, we're going to get him to start like week 6, week 8, or something like that. And I think we're going to go at most 9-7 at most.
You talking about the Giants? You talking about the Giants?
Yeah, with this defense, I really don't think, because after this year, we free up everyone like Vernon, Jenkins. We could free up everything, and then by 2020, we could really get a home run with the defense, and then the offense is going to be set.
I think next year, you never know in the NFL, because I will say the Giants play a softer schedule. You got to see what they do in free agency in the draft before we say anything. But yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I think they'll win between 6 and 9 games next year. I think they'll do a little better than last year. I think the offensive line will be better. I think that they'll have a year more experience in the new system on both defense and offense, so it will be improved. Well, we got to see the personnel they bring in. Obviously, they're losing Landon Collins, but I think they'll be more familiar with the system. specifically on the defensive end. It's more of a complex system than people think with all the different types of blitzes that Betcher draws up. So I think it takes a year or two to learn it. So I do think the defense will be a little improved. But if I'm being fair, I would guess 7 or 8 wins next year.
Yeah, I see that. And I was going to say something. Well, I forgot it, but yeah. Thanks for taking my call, bro. So that's all I got for today.
Yeah, man. No, I always appreciate the call, buddy. You know that. And thank you for being one of my best subs, man. I always appreciate talking to you.
Yeah, man. I hope you get well over 5 feet next time I see you. I know it's nothing's funny. I don't find anything funny. I found that sad.
All right, Babit. I'll talk to you soon.
Anyway, man. See ya.
All right, buddy. All right, let's take the next caller here. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Hello?
Hello. It is Stuck in the Friday the 13th.
Love this guy. Love this guy. Stuck in the Friday. I'm going to be on your channel Thursday. Stuck in the 80s. So be sure to look out for that. He was on my channel 2 weeks ago. Great guy. He's got great content. He's a Giants fan. That's how he found my channel. But he's actually a movie channel. So if you're into movies, he talks specifically 80s movies. That's why his channel is called Stuck in the 80s. So I will be over on his channel to talk movies on Thursday. You do a great job over there. I love the video you came out with today. I really did. You did a good job with that.
Thank you. It was really difficult wearing that whole Jason getup. Plus, I was wearing a sweatshirt underneath the dress shirt to try to make myself look bigger. And I know it's a little hard to understand me at a few times in the video, but I think it's worth it to look like Jason.
Yeah, you did a great job, man. You did a great job. And Samuel says he subbed a couple months ago. That's awesome, man. I'm happy that people are subbing to him because he deserves it. He's only got about, I don't know, a little over 100 subs, but he's new, he's growing, and I say it all the time. I'd be surprised if your channel's not much, much, much bigger in a year. I think you do a great job over there. But what's up, buddy?
I appreciate that, brother. And I got to give a shout-out to the Entertainer's Greatest Hits, which I believe that's a channel Joe Musa runs. I don't think he's in the chat anymore, but absolutely hilarious mashup with you and I with the Elm Street music and the VHS stuff. He just did an awesome job in that whole video.
Oh, he did a great job editing that. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. He does a great job, man. But what I want to ask you, obviously you're a huge Giants fan. What do you think about this now with Landon Collins?
I'm glad you asked because that's what I was coming in with to talk Landon Collins, and I had a quick question after that. Landon Collins did a little research while I was listening to the chat or to the phone calls. He had a great 2016, but he did have 5 interceptions in 4 weeks and 0 in the other 12 weeks. Now, he did have 4 sacks with that season, so it was a great Pro Bowl-type season. 2017, though, he only had 2 pickles, no sacks. Then he's hurt in 2018, 0 pickles, 0 sacks. I like him, but I think he may have been a flash in the pan. If he works out somewhere else, great for them, but I feel like it's time to go with just the losing and the bad, the coaching changes, the attitude and the mentality in New York. Maybe it's just time for him to go and get a fresh start.
I like the guy. I like that you call him Pickles.
Well, yeah, interceptions, pickles, they're picks.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have committed a long-term contract to him. I've said that now for months. Me and Bad Dog say that every week on our Giants show. But I think I would have franchised him. But they obviously had a reason not to franchise him. They must have known it was going to be a big catastrophe going into training camp. And they probably didn't want to deal with it. They probably said, we're only going to keep him for 1 year anyway. We're going to let him go, and we'll find somebody in the draft and free agency. And that's what I think happened when push came to shove.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about Dave Gettleman, but a friend of mine's a Carolina Panthers fan, and he told me a little history of how he kind of turned that team around, got into the Super Bowl. So I was like, you know what? He's done it once with one team. Granted, Eli's not a young quarterback like Cam Newton was, but we're possibly drafting a young quarterback, maybe even a running quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this team over the next 1 or 2 years. I'm still not sold on Pat Shumar, but he's also only 1 year in as well. He did have him playing better in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I was a big Shermer guy when they... I mean, I didn't think he was the second coming of Bill Parcells, but I was a Shermer guy when they hired him. I thought it was a good hire. I liked what he brought to the offense with all the success he had as an offensive coordinator with mediocre quarterbacks. He made Case Keenum look brilliant. He made Nick Foles look great. Sam Bradford had his best year under his tutelage as an OC. So I did like that play-action aspect he brought to the team. And I will say the offense definitely looked better in the second half when they got to running the football. They weren't giving Barkley near enough touches in the first half. In the second half, they got to what the Giants should have been doing since day one. And part of that had to do with the acquisition of Jamon Brown. I think he shored up the O-line. I think there was better holes to be gotten in the running game, and I think that was a big contributing factor to why they were able to run the ball so effectively. So I expect Brown to be back. But I'm still not off the Shermer train. I still think he could be a good head coach, but I'm not as in love with him as I was before the start of the year. I'll say that. But I still think he could be a good head coach.
And it shows you how much I love him. I butchered his last name, which some people are pointing out in the chat. I'm sorry, I got his last name slightly wrong. Yeah, it happens. But the other thing I wanted to ask you, Chris, and I'm not sure if you know anything about this, but I was watching a Bad Dog chat the other night, and then in our little group chats, and I've seen this in the live chats as well. Apparently you can't say the word that rhymes with tub bribe anymore on live streams, and I'm not sure if that's legit or people are just blowing smoke and just causing people to get panicked, and it's not something that's really out there.
Yeah, it's a funny joke there. Samuel Banks just said, is OBJ playing quarterback next year? Of course he threw the two touchdowns this year.
He had a great season at quarterback.
He did, yeah, perfect QB rating. But, yeah, I'm not going to say it. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I doubt there is, but I'm just going to say join instead of that word. So
join, all right.
Yeah, join the channel. Join the channel if you like. Channel. And don't forget to smash that bell. Join the channel. That's what I'm going to say from now on. But I got to stop saying it in my videos. It's like a habit. I always say it, but I'm going to have to get used to that. But, yeah, it seems like that's the new rule. I just want to say, I saw a couple other people. Steve the Dirt Man. I don't think I said hello to him earlier. Meatball Parm. I love Meatball Parms. Thank you for tuning into the chat. What's my Twitter? You know what? I'll type it in the chat, actually. Anybody who doesn't follow me on Twitter, let me put it in the chat real quick for anybody that wants to follow me.
Yeah, follow the entertainer on the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
The Twitters.
So that's not like my link, but that's my name. It's DA Entertainer 85. So that's my name on the Twitters.
Speaking of the Twitters, I got my hat from Bad Dog today for being winning the 6,000 Join Us contest. So that was pretty cool. I'll be wearing that Wednesday night for my stream and Thursday night with you. So I know he's not in here, but awesome, Mr. Bad Dog 7676, great Giants channel and Lakers channel as well. But Chris, I want to thank you for taking my call, brother. Great stream as always, and I look forward to having the show with you Thursday night.
Yeah, man. Of course, man. It's going to be a blast. Always is. You did such a good job on my channel. One of my favorite streams I've done so far because it was like half sports related, half just talking, and I had a lot of fun. It was a good change of pace. So, I'm looking forward to working with you in the future, buddy.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
All right, have a good one. Oh, Goatquan, thank you for posting the link to the Twitters. Thank you for posting the link. Oh, yeah, well, I didn't win anything, and I'm still better than you. I think there's a second-time caller. I didn't say I was taking second-time callers. Is this Cushman?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to let you call in a minute because I think I got somebody else calling in.
All right.
All right. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
Daniel.
Daniel. How you doing, buddy?
Good. What do you think the Giants should do with their second-round pick?
It's a tough question right now, and it all depends on what they do in the first. If they go quarterback, obviously you could do anything. And if they don't go quarterback in the first, that leaves the option. If somebody fell, like a Daniel Jones, they could take a quarterback in the second. I don't think they're taking a quarterback in the second, regardless.
Yeah.
I think at this point in time, safety's definitely a big-time possibility. I think you could go safety. I think you go offensive line. And I think you go pass rusher. I think those are the three possibilities.
Which pass rusher do you think would be left on the board? Like a Zach Allen, or do you think one of the guys like Polite or Burns could slip?
Polite could. I know a lot of people have had Polite moving up their mocks a lot, but he had an underwhelming combine. From what I saw, his 40 what did he run? He ran like a mid 4.7, I think, or something. So,
yeah, and I heard his interviews went bad.
Yeah, so he could slip. Ferguson's another guy they could look at in the second round. I'm pulling up the list now. Burns possible second round, but he had a pretty good combine. And Burns kind of reminds me of Lorenzo Carter, where he is like a supreme athlete, but he's not polished. They could look at him if they're going pass rusher. Those would be the guys I'm looking at there, possibly if Polite fell, Ferguson, and Burns possibly if he fell. Those would be the options.
And what safety do you think could fall to them? Thompson, Adderley, or Abram?
Adderley's possible. I think you'd have. I don't think Thompson's possible. I think you'd have to trade up for Adderley probably, though, to the end of the first. I think maybe if he fell to, like, I see him being projected to go about 24, 25. If he fell like 29, 30, maybe the Giants move up and get him. And then Thornhill was the other guy we were talking about as if they stay put, that they could take. He had a good combine, supposedly. I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but I think Kohler said he had like a 46-inch vertical leap, and he's ranked the 42nd best overall prospect according to Draft Tech. So that could be a guy they're looking at in the second round as well.
What do you think about Mac Wilson? Do you think he'd be a solid fit if he's available?
Mac Wilson, yeah, obviously if they took Devin White, which is possible, you don't even consider Mac Wilson. They play the same position, but based on the assumption they don't take Devin White, Mac Wilson I don't think is going to be there first off because he killed it. He ran, what did he run, a 4.44?
Something insane like that, yeah.
But the thing with Mac Wilson is he is undersized, so maybe he falls a bit. He's like 5'11", 5'11 and a half. So maybe he falls. I doubt it, but yeah, if he was there, I'd consider him. The thing is you have Ogletree, but you could cut Ogletree, but they would have done that already in my opinion, so I doubt it. So you never know, but I think he helped the stock a bit.
And do you think they should take an interior alignment like Lindstrom or Bradbury?
I like Lindstrom, and Bradbury had a great combine. Lindstrom was going. I haven't done my. Basically, by Wednesday, I'm probably gonna have my full first round mock. I'm gonna do every team again, and then later in the week, probably by Sunday of next week, I'm gonna have a mock draft specifically for the Giants, where I do first round, second round, fourth, and then there's 8 picks in the 4 to 7 round. And Lindstrom is the guy I was going to pick in the second round for a while now. He's the guy that I think is going to fit what the Giants want. He's a guard, Boston College. He's going to go right around where the Giants are picking. But you brought up Bradbury. Bradbury had a killer combine, so that's a guy that I would certainly consider there.
All right. Thank you.
You got it, man. Thank you for the call, buddy.
All right. Bye.
What's going on, Techie? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. Would Brian Burns start, though, and who would he be starting ahead of? He probably would. He'd probably do what Lorenzo Carter did last year. He'd be a situational pass rusher. But he's a second-round pick. I mean, that's not that crazy. Carter was a third-round pick last year. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
What's up? What's up, the entertainer?
Is this Whitney?
It is.
Whitney, I don't think Bobby's in the chat. I know Bobby loves you. What's going on, Whitney?
Nothing much. Just prep some stuff for my son. He's having a little birthday thing tomorrow, so.
Well, happy birthday to him.
I'll tell him.
How old is he? How old is he gonna be?
6.
Oh, happy birthday! That's a big year. Was he in first grade?
No, he's in kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think, Whitney, of the Landon Collins news?
You know, I'm getting frustrated with this whole New York organization. I'm telling you, they need a female in that office, helping them out, making the decisions. I'm gonna keep saying it until it happens, because granted, he's not the best of them all. But if you want to go back and, you know, seasons, he was up for the defensive player of the year. So, you know, for that man to be there and then not so good, like how I said in our last conversation, you know, you're going to rep your team the way the team is being repped. You know, so if your team is on a losing panel, you're you know, the players are not going to play to their fullest potential, you know. And I feel like they're doing places that they need to be cutting and, you know, taking money and doing this and doing that. They don't do that, you know. And I love Eli. I'm a huge fan of Eli, but Eli is what he used to be 5-6 years ago, you know. And we steady keeping him around, but we letting go of some of the guys that could potentially make some things happen once we, you know, do what we have to do with the D-line and the O-line and our quarterback. I just don't understand the decisions that, you know, that they come up with, because, he's a great player. And
I know you're a huge. I knew you were one of the people I thought of when the news came out today because I knew you were going to be very upset. I know you're a huge Landon Collins fan, and I thought they should have franchised him, but I thought this was possible after that thing with the locker came out about 2 weeks ago, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they try to replace him, but they're going to miss him. I mean, he was definitely a playmaker.
And my coworker told me that he heard that Landon was trying to go to Dallas. I didn't care for that news. I don't know if it was true. I don't know how accurate that was. But if he goes to another team and blossom, you talking about piss? I'm going to be pissed.
Well, Landon Collins, if he goes to Dallas, and it's possible, because I've seen a lot of, and I don't know the cap situation. I know they don't have a lot to spend. But if he goes to the Cowboys and performs well, you're going to have a lot of pissed off Giant fans. You're going to have a lot of pissed off Giant fans.
I might need to give what's his name? David Gettleman?
Dave Gettleman.
I need to give him I might need to give him a call because I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're saying is true as far as like him getting rid of all of, what's the other guy that was I was in charge of making the decisions with the players, Jerry Reese or something like that.
Oh, Jerry Reese was horrible.
I don't know if I don't know what his motive is when it comes to all these other players that was chosen by that guy, but
yeah,
surround the man with good players and the team could be good.
Well, I mean, I've been saying that for years about Eli. I mean, Eli at this point he's old. That's why I think you and I both want Haskins. But for years, it wasn't. I mean, of course, Eli did some things where you scratched your head. He threw with his left hand. I remember through a pick. He'd make throws sometimes where you'd be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" But Eli didn't just fall off a cliff overnight. In 2011, he had his best year ever. He was one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the sport. And 2 years later, he was near the bottom. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Jerry Reese didn't support him with an offensive line. So this team for years has been drafting improperly, and it's catching up to them now. Jerry Reese, instead of drafting properly in 2015, tried to fill everything with free agents. It worked for 1 year, and then it went to hell. And we're still cleaning that mess up now today, which is why they can't go out there and spend money they don't have. They got to be diligent. They got to continue to build through the draft. They got to get young. And that's what they got to focus on in these next 2 or 3 drafts.
Yeah, they need to do something, because I'm going to have to come up to New York or, wherever they at. Currently, wherever they at.
You're in Jersey, right?
No, I'm not in Jersey anymore. I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, I thought you were in Jersey. Oh, you're originally from Jersey.
Yeah, I'm originally
from
Jersey.
It is. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But
that's all I wanted to.
Go ahead.
That's all I wanted to call in for. We got to do better with these decisions.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can. At this point, I mean that's all we can hope to do is that hopefully they got a plan in place. I'm sure they do. Whether or not it's a good plan, we're not going to find out until the season starts. So we'll see what happens at free agent. We're going to know by March 13th. That's when the big name free agents are going to get signed. So we're going to see what they planned on and what they did. I have a guy in mind, Amos. I've been saying him for weeks from the Bears. If he's available, I want the Giants to jump on him, the safety. But then they're still going to have to fill in Collins' spot. So they're going to need 2 safeties now, in my opinion. You can't go into the year with Curtis Riley. He was god-awful. But
I just don't want to go in the next season with us saying we almost had it. Like my grandfather once said to me, almost chicken don't get you soup. So I mean, we gotta do, man.
I think it's gonna take 2 or 3 years, but we gotta be patient as Giants fans. We gotta be patient. Let them do what they gotta do. Hopefully, they do the right thing. I don't think it's gonna be a 1-year fix. I think it's gonna take 2 or 3 years. But I think once they get there, they're gonna be good for 4 or 5 years. So hopefully, they build it the right way. Whitney, I always enjoy when you call in. You know that. Great subscriber of mine. I appreciate the call.
Same here. I'll be in the chat.
All right, Whitney. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Cushman. Great, LOL. I don't know who he's talking to. I hope he's not talking to me, Mizashi. What's going on, MYG31? How you doing, buddy? And I just saw you. Yo, Chris, you said, I don't know your name. A's One Invasion. I saw that you said you're new to the channel. I appreciate that. Hey, Chris, do you think that the Giants may try to use some of their later picks and pile them up? Yes, I expect them to do that. I expect them to couple 2 or 3 of their picks in the 4 to 7 rounds and move up and get a 3rd round pick. I'd be surprised if they don't do that. Because what's the point in having 8 picks in the 4th to 7th? You might as well try to get one more big in. Last year we got 2 impact players in the 3rd round. So B.J. Hill and Lorenzo Carter. So yes, I would try to move up and back into the 3rd. Yeah, they absolutely need to get back into the 3rd. I think they got rid of Snacks for 2 reasons. I think part of it had to do with the locker room. I think the other part had to do with his contract. And I think it's the same reason why they were shopping Vernon, because of his contract. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
It's Joe Musa again. I know it's a second-time call, but don't hang up on me.
No, of course not. The show's starting to wind down anyway. Go ahead.
Don't make me start acting like Pats for life.
What's going on?
So now I have a few questions for you. Any chance you think the Jets will pick up Collins? Team him up with Jamal Adams. That would be a great tandem.
It's possible. Because you guys what do you guys got? About $70 million?
I thought it was a little over 100.
Oh, it is. You're right. I'm thinking of you guys. I think it's. I thought it's about 9. It was going to be between 93 and about 102. I read. I think you're absolutely right about that. So you guys have a lot. Yeah, that could make sense. And I'm sure a lot of Giant fans don't want to hear that, but yeah. But I will say that's kind of your strength on your defense right now. I mean, not that it's a super strength, but I think you guys got to focus more on the pass rushers and the offensive line. But if there's some extra money left around, that might make sense for you guys.
And now that the Jets are going to stick with 3-4 defense, do you think Josh Allen fits with them?
Yes, I'm going to have a mock to your Jets, I think, in my next mock draft.
JC had one. He has them picking Josh Allen.
Yeah, I got to watch JC's draft. I haven't watched it yet, but I think he's the perfect fit for you guys now. So I'm curious what JC did then. I'm assuming he had Murray going first.
Yeah, he did.
I just want to say,
I was shocked.
What kind of headphones are those? It looks like it was the one Steve Bartman wore before. I'm going to be getting a new set of headphones. I've had these ones for a while. Movie critic, I appreciate the super chat. I'm going to be getting a new set of headphones in a couple of weeks. But, so he had, who did he have going 4th then? Who was 2nd and 3rd? Obviously, Allen was 3rd. Who was 2nd?
Oh, I forget who he had as 2nd. Both, I think.
So he had Williams going 4th to the Raiders, or did he have Williams falling further?
Raiders, I believe he had 4th, yeah.
Okay. I think Allen makes sense for the Jets now. I think he's the perfect fit for you guys.
And then I also heard that the Jets are highly interested in Le'Veon Bell and Tevin Coleman. So who would you go after?
Well, Le'Veon Bell's obviously the better player, but he's going to cost.
But he's got a lot of mileage on him though.
Yeah, and
he didn't. First of all, he has a lot of mileage. He hasn't played in a year, and I've heard. I don't know.
Devil's advocate though. Before you go on, I could spin that into a positive that he's been fresh for a year. But you could also say, well, he's out of football shape. So, but I'm with you. If I was a Jets fan, I wouldn't want Le'Veon Bell. Because it's going to cost.
You wouldn't?
No,
you wouldn't?
No, because it's going to be a 5-year. If I look at it like this, I think it's going to be probably a 5-year deal, right? We'll just say it's a 5-year deal. I think for the first two years, he's going to be unbelievable. But I think the last 2 or 3 years of that deal, he's going to fall off a cliff.
He'll drop off.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want him for a 5-year deal. I wouldn't. I'd rather draft a running back.
So, I think we get AB, Josh Allen, Tevin Coleman, and Collins. And that's our team. Then the rest will be all offensive line.
Tevin Coleman's a nice fit there. He doesn't have a lot of... How old is Coleman now? 20? He's probably around the same age, maybe a little older
He's young.
than Bell.
He's young, yeah.
He's probably 26,
I think he's been the season... I think he only has 4 years.
So he's probably 26, 27. Yeah, Coleman, and he doesn't have a lot of wear on his tires, too, because he's been platooning over there. So Coleman makes sense there from the Falcons. He, to me, makes more sense than Bell. Bell's a better player. I think Bell's the third best running back in football. But I'd worry about the longevity of the contract.
The other thing is he also had a great offensive line.
Well, that too. And you
look at what his replacement did. He was a rookie, right? What was his replacement in Pittsburgh?
Daniel Rack says, what am I don't know if he's talking to you or me. Daniel Rack, if you're asking what I'm smoking, do you think Le'Veon Bell is going to be a top-tier running back 5 years from now? Because I certainly don't. Not with the amount of touches that guy's had. He's had 400 touches like 3 years. They've abused him in Pittsburgh. Abused him. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I forget what I was saying now.
But
I was saying I was saying that Le'Veon Bell was so good because of his offensive line. Who was his replacement again? It was a rookie.
Connor.
But he rushed for over 1,000 yards too.
Yeah, well, Connor played great, but he wore down at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was great the first 11 games, and then he wore down at the end of the year. They didn't have a good running attack.
He just needs to work on his stamina.
Yeah, I mean, they got a great O-line there. But I do think Bell's a special running back. I do. I just would be scared to give him 5 years. That would be my only worry. If the Jets get him on a 3-year deal, which I don't think they will.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
You do it in a second. But he would change your offense. But the way I look at it from a Jets fan's perspective, as much as I think your team's going to be vastly improved next year, you're not going to contend for a Super Bowl. I think you're at least 2 years...
Wild card. I'm hoping for wild card.
Yeah, but the way I would look at it is this. By the time the Jets are going to be ready to contend for a Super Bowl, if everything plays out properly, I think it would be the 3rd year of that Le'Veon Bell contract. And by that time, I think your team's going to be... He's going to be starting to wear down, so I would not sign him. Eagles fan, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, if it says user busy, does that mean I'm on hold? No, you're not on hold.
No.
But anything else, buddy?
No, that's it, man. Take your other callers. Later, bro.
All right, Joe. Great call. Thank you very much for everything you do for my channel. Have a good one, buddy.
No problem. You too.
All right. Detonator says I am predicting either a 3 or a 4-year deal. If you get him for a 3-year deal, you jump on it. You jump all over it. Scott Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. Detonator, I'm going to take one more because this guy's a new caller. Hold on. I'll let you call next. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in. Rover Sports in the house. I don't know how long he's been listening, but everybody, I love Rover Sports. You may not always agree with him, but he's always going to tell you his opinion, and he's a great friend of mine. So go over there and check him out. What's going on? How you doing?
Hold on a second. I want to say something for my viewers. What's up, guys?
Oh, is this, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Dire Giants fan, thank you so much.
This ain't Hamilton. This is Jake Reynolds.
Jake Reynolds with a little switchery right there. Dire Giants fan, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. What's going on, Jake Reynolds, with the good impression there of Hamilton? How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. By the way, that was a Sprite can that I cracked open. But yeah, I'm doing good. I was just on the Sports Fury. I did a Skype call with them. We talked about the Eagles, and we just discussed all the stuff going on with the Eagles right now. And yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys have made a lot of noise so far this offseason. For a team with the least amount of cap space. You guys have made a lot of noise. You brought back Graham. You made a cut today. So, you guys are doing some big things over there. We'll see how it works out.
Well, before we get into that, I did not think that impression was going to work.
I'll say this. I'm going to be completely fair. I obviously that's what he always says, so I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and people do sound different on the phone. Like Bad Dog sounds nothing like on the phone that he does on YouTube. So I said, all right, it must be him, but you weren't like identical. I'll say that.
I just figured I'd have a little fun.
No, it was fun. You fooled me. You fooled me.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Eagles looks like they're looking to trade Michael Bennett, possibly even Nelson Aguilar. Tim Jernigan's not coming back. they restructured Brandon Graham's contract, which I'll get into that in a second. I like giving Kelsey an extra year. Sayamalu's solid. I'm okay with that one. But the Brandon Graham signing,
you didn't
unlike
like that
a lot
one?
of Eagles fans, I am not all that excited about this because from what I saw from Michael Bennett, I'm thinking about keeping him for this year and possibly letting Brandon Graham walk because that would also open up us signing someone like Jordan Hicks. And we have a much bigger need at linebacker than we do defensive linemen. So I really want to see Hicks stay. And now that it looks like he's not going to be, it looks like we're going to have to. Look for another linebacker, possibly in the draft or free agency or trade. So, and I think not having real solid linebackers is going to hurt us. I mean, I like Nigel Bradham. Gruze Hill is okay, but I don't see that much in him. I really like Jordan Hicks. So, but as far as free agency goes for the Eagles, two guys that I'm really eyeing in on are Tyrell Williams and Tevin Coleman.
Okay, I'm going to answer that real quick. I just want to say thank you to Detonator for the super chat. I really appreciate that. He says, thank you for letting me call in. Of course, man, anytime. And Tevin asked me, Chris, do you think that Alex Tanney re-sign is any harm towards us? No, I don't. So you were getting to the point about Tevin Coleman and
Tevin Coleman and Tyrell Williams.
Okay, Tyrell Williams, I think, he's going to cost a lot of money, and I don't think he's worth it, to be honest. But from what I read, he might be one of the highest paid free. Is he projected to be the highest paid free agent wide receiver on the market?
I think this past year he was making.
I read that they think he's going to make about $9 or $10 million a year.
Yeah, he was making about like $5.5 million this past year, if I'm correct. I'm not 100% on that. So don't be like, oh, you're fucking wrong. If
no.
That ends up like not being true. But if we can get him at like $7 or $8 million, possibly, I would be into that because one thing this team really needs is a deep threat, and the loss of Torrey Smith is really being overlooked by a lot of Eagles fans. See, he had problems catching the ball in 2017, and really he didn't put up great numbers, but he took the top off the defense, and that opened up everything else for everyone. It helped Zach Ertz get open. It helped Alshon Jeffrey get open. It helped Nelson Aguilar get open. And I think a deep threat is just what this team needs to, be back to being one of the better offenses in the league.
Well, you guys certainly need a play. You guys have needed this you needed it last year too. You need a playmaker at the wide receiver position. You need a playmaker at the running back position. That's your Achilles heel. Your Achilles heel is the only thing the Giants are good at. And that's what you guys need. I mean, your playmaker's your tight end, but you could certainly use a deep threat, and you certainly could use a running back. I think you'll try to address the running back in the draft, and I do see you potentially going after a receiver in free agency. Now, the problem is there's not a lot of big names out there. Golden Tate, I think, is another big one. He obviously didn't do too well with you guys when you gave up your draft pick. So,
it looks like he's going to be going to the Patriots since the Patriots tried to trade for him.
That's a perfect fit. He'll do perfectly there.
And he wants to go there and contend for a Super Bowl. So he's very likely to not be here, and in fact, very likely to be there.
That's a perfect fit for Golden Tate. He'll thrive there.
As far as I'll tell you what, the whole Nelson Aguilar thing is trading him. I will say this: I think one player the Eagles might possibly be eyeing on. They said they want to trade for a veteran player, Deshaun Jackson, because he's a little bit more than Aguilar is, but I think a deep threat is a hell of a lot more of a need on this team than a slot receiver. I really like Aguilar. I think he's starting to grow even more as a receiver, but by the way it's looking, because I was on Instagram and I had seen Deshaun Jackson's story. He was in Philly signing autographs Sunday, and he talked about how it's been great, Philly, and he says hopefully I could be here soon. So I'm starting to wonder if maybe he could be a guy that the Eagles are going after.
Yeah, I saw Philly 500's video, and after this I'm going to let you go because I got to get one or two more in before because I'm going to close it out in 10 minutes. But I saw Philly 500's video on that, and he was a big fan of bringing Deshaun Jackson back. That might make sense for you guys. He's getting up there in age, but he would be a guy that could take the top off the defense.
And he seems to be digging it. I think the players here would like him. He's towards the end of his career. He probably wants to contend for another championship, and he could be that one of those pieces that we need that could possibly get us to being a contender again. Because, even though the Eagles still made it to the divisional round, last year was kind of a disappointment. Bottom 5 in rushing. Offense ranked like 20th or something. Coming off of last year, I did not expect the offense to look that bad. I didn't expect it to be top 5 again, but I expected it to be at least like top 10, top 15. Like that. What last year, as far as the offense goes, that was inexcusable. I know Wentz was coming off of an injury, but you asked too much of him with the lack of running game, and just it wasn't. They were not set up to be great last year.
Right.
You had a quarterback that was injured, and you had a controversy as well because Nick Foles had just won you the Super Bowl. So, on top of that, you also had people wanting to put in Foles because Wentz was struggling. So it was a
you had a lot going on. But I'm going to let you go because I got to get a few more people in. But good call, Jake.
Oh yeah, it was a typical Super Bowl hangover. But I pretty much got in what I wanted to say. Again, thanks for having me on. Hit me up if you want to collab. I'm down for that.
All right, buddy. I got somebody calling it now. I got to take him. But thank you for the call, Jake.
All right, later.
All right, bud. Take this call. And I think this is Cushman. What's going on, Cushman?
Yes, finally.
What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. I just want to say one thing is on the Sports Fury Collins show, I was the second person to call in.
That's awesome. That's like history.
Yeah, people said that I was good. And first was UCF Jaguar, but I was number 2.
Congratulations. I might hop on. Are they still alive? They probably are.
Yeah, they still are. I saw like Spotlight Sports Talk went on, and then Movie Critic was trying to go on.
All right. I'll hop over there after this, man. But anything sports related, or is that it?
Yeah, I have sports related. So I came up with this like earlier today, but I didn't bring it up the first call in, and it's a little complicated. So maybe there's like no chance of it happening. But what about a 3-team trade involving Rosen with the Giants? With the Giants, like let's just say the Bengals at 11. We trade down to 11, and then the Bengals trade up and like draft Haskins, let's just say, and then we trade the 11th pick for Murray.
Wait. All right, so you're saying trade down to 11, and then
we somewhere like 13,
and then we trade down again.
No, we trade that pick that we traded down for Rosen.
Oh, you said Murray. That's why I got confused. Nah.
Oh, that's good.
Nah, I'd rather just take Haskins.
All right. My idea behind that was that we could accumulate more assets.
It's not a horrible idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. But in that scenario, I'd rather just take Haskins. Now, if you're telling me I could get him for a second-round pick, then I'm talking. And Ronaldo, I'm about to close it out in 6 minutes, but yes, I am still live. But, by the way, I'm going to let you go, though, buddy, because I want to try to get one more person.
All right. I just have one last thing to say.
Yeah.
Learn football!
If not everybody knows that, if they don't know the inside joke there, but thank you. By the way, I just want to say thank you. I'll take one more call, and I'm going to call tonight, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been here. Everybody that's been active. Samuel Banks has been here almost the whole time. Bottom's been here the whole time. Rogue's been here the whole time. John Smith, by the way, I saw that you commented. I got to go back to that video. I'm going to get you your fitted hat. You won the giveaway for 4,000 subs. MH been here the whole time. Meatball's been here almost the whole time. Bobby. Thank you to everybody that's been here. What's going on? You're on live. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, man, are you taking second-time callers?
You're my last caller because I'm closing out at 9:30. So make it a good one. And I appreciate that, Zach. He says, I just joined. Enjoyed listening. I'll be back around. Yeah, every Monday. I do this every Monday and usually Saturdays. But what's going on, buddy? Go ahead.
How you doing? How's everything?
I'm doing good, man. I hope it's sports related. What's up?
Of course you're sports related. You know who I am, of course. But, like...
Joe Lutz, of course.
No.
No, I'm just saying Joe Lutz says he's here. And Cooper, man, don't apologize, man. I know that you're a big bad dog guy. Whenever you come by, I appreciate it, man. And you're sick. I hope you feel better. But go ahead.
All right. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the regular season?
Of football?
Yeah.
Because baseball, it's a 10. Football, it's a 10. And basketball, it's a 10. I can't wait till the draft for the NBA. We didn't do any Knicks talk. I'm hoping to get the Knicks talk back up. Usually there's more Knicks talk in these chats. That'll pick up definitely in the offseason with the July 1st and the draft. And I'm really looking forward to the Knicks offseason. I'm going to have a ton of Knicks content on my channel, so get ready for that. Non-stop Knicks talk. Once the draft is over, I'm going to focus on basketball and baseball. Knicks and Mets going to go hard. Obviously some Giants content, but the Giants will be less as we approach the football season in late July. That's when we'll pick the football content back up. But I'm looking for... I love all the three sports that I follow, you know?
You know, I just got started... I got back into basketball, all right? That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, I can't fucking speak today.
Well, you're a Nets fan. You're a Nets fan.
I am a Nets fan. But... I mean, right now they have a losing record. They're 32-33, but we've been like around 500 for the past 3 weeks now. So it's been rough just seeing like not us being able to get a nice string of wins. Like we did have one where we got like 9 in a row, but then after that it kind of just went back to 1-1, and now we're like 1-2. So it's kind of been annoying. We dropped down to 7th in our conference, so it's been rough. Not like rough, but just been like frustrating.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a Nets fan, in my opinion, Nets fans should be thrilled with how the team turned out this year.
I am.
You should have had zero expect. Going into the year, I thought the Knicks and Nets were about the same. And look where the Knicks are, look where the Nets are. I mean, you guys are going to the playoffs, so you guys had a great year. Probably the biggest surprise in basketball this year was the Nets.
Yeah,
certainly up there.
Yeah, hashtag world champs this year. Woo.
No. Stop dreaming, buddy.
we're gonna be the underdog that takes on Wicked. No, stop. No, but yeah, I remember you guys were talking about before with the whole Le'Veon situation. Yeah, me and Mark's friend were talking about the other day, and we're like saying like we really don't want him for a 5-year deal. 5 years I find a little bit ridiculous, but 4 is probably the max I'd ever go on Le'Veon. 4-year deal. I'm not sure how much we'd pay him because I know he really wants a lot, but like I'm not sure like how much we're exactly going to pay him. But we do have cap space, but we also need a cap space too. We have so many other issues to fix, and we can't fix them all in one season. It's all about trusting the process and stuff like that. But when it comes to our O-line, that's probably our biggest fault at it. I mean, and with our wide receivers too. Our wide receivers just.
Well, you guys have had the same issue for like a decade. I mean, since Abraham left, you haven't had a pass rusher, and you guys haven't had a number 1 wide receiver other than that 1 year with Brandon Marshall since Keyshawn Johnson on a consistent basis. I know you could pick and choose. Kotri had a nice year here. Santana Moss, I guess, was okay, but you guys have not had a consistent number 1 wide receiver for a 2 or 3 year basis since Keyshawn, and you guys have not had a pass rusher since John Abraham. So that's your biggest areas of need. You need a playmaker for your young quarterback. You also need to beef up that offensive line. It was a disgrace this year. So those are your 3 biggest needs. You need to fix the O-line, you need to get a pass rusher, and you need to get a number 1 threat for your quarterback. That's where you got to be focused.
Exactly. That's why when I heard about the 3-4 news, I was thrilled. I was thrilled to stick with the 3-4. And I know people were like, yeah, but the 3-4 doesn't work that much. The 3-4 is, different than the thing with the 3-4, you could bring in Josh Allen, and he's what I've been wanting this whole time. And when we got Greg Williams, everyone was like, okay, we can't draft Josh Allen, so we're probably gonna bring the 4-3 system into it. But now that we're sticking with the 3-4, I think Josh Allen has to be the go-to pick. If he's there, we take him, And it's just a given. Like, you'd have to be like blind not to see like, oh, he's definitely the best player on the board, the best defensive end there is right now, other than or not whatever and he just plays great. He gets after the quarterback, and he just does what he needs to do, and that's where our biggest struggle, as you said, since Abraham left, we haven't had somebody out there like that, and it's been hard. And not to mention our interior is kind of mad too. Like, we need to work on that, but I just want to work on our pass rushing the most, if anything.
Yeah.
Our run stopping all right, but our pass rushing is just a disgrace. And again, with what you said about the offensive line, I can't count on just two hands how many bad snaps there were this season.
Yeah.
Those bad snaps could have cost us games because it could have went everything all haywire on certain drives. And there was like this one time where the bad snap led to a fumble, we lost the football. It was just disgusting to see what was happening. And then we replaced the center, but that center can't block, and it just goes over and over again. It was just not a pretty year.
I hear you, buddy. You guys were all over the map. There were some games where Darnold looked great. There were some games where he looked like he was lost, and part of that had to do with the surrounding cast. But I'm going to let you go because I'm going to close out the show. I want to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much for the call. Thank you for being a great subscriber, Detonator. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you for thanking me. All right, man. Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me just say my closing words. Diehard Giants fans, cheers, Chris. Always a great show. I'll be over there. I'm going to try to call in Big Blue Entertainer. I'm Nation. And you asked me earlier. Oh, yeah, I answered you. I said, start the channel. Start the channel. Let me know when you do. This dude, Bobby, said, he's a good caller. He's a good kid. John Smith says, Chris, can I get a wrench? But yes. And I will definitely, I've just been so busy with the videos, John Schmidt. I'm definitely going to look into it in the coming days, get you that hat for you. There's your mod. Blood Red Snake, man, you came in at the end. I got to give Blood Red Snake a wrench, though. He's a great subscriber of mine. Tunes in a lot of my streams. But, again, I just want to say, have a good night, Zach. Everybody that came in, you should watch the show back, though, if you have time, Blood Red Snake. You'll enjoy it. This is one of my better call-in shows. I appreciate that, Rudy, man. I love Rudy, man. I don't know if you ever got a chance, by the way, Rudy. And I know you check out most of my videos. I made a thank you video. And I always notice this from you. I made a thank you. I don't know if you got a chance to check it out. I specifically mentioned you. Your comments are among the best. Because you don't comment on every video, but when you do, you could tell that you mean what you say. And it's very well thought out. So I really appreciate you on my channel, Rudy. Good night, MYG31. Have a good one. Bobby says, Chris, shoot him. Bobby, you're the man. Everybody do me a favor. Check out Bobby's making cannolis. Check him out. Blood Red. Yeah, we talked Collins for like an hour and a half. Tevin, I think I just gave you one. You got a wrench next to your name. I appreciate that respect. Yeah, Rudy, man, you're great, man. Been here since before the season. I remember you commented. Yeah, I got to give a Bottom a wrench, by the way. He commented on my videos. I think this is one of the streams he's been most active in. Have a great one, Meatball. I appreciate that. Samuel Banks, thank you very much. But yeah, I remember when you joined my channel. You said that you had to look throughout I was very low in the algorithms and you had to find me. I remember that. But, yes, the chef. Yes, that's like the beginning, Rudy. That's incredible, man. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll talk soon. You guys are great. Have a good night, guys.